Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the C3 Friday Free For All. I am your host, Cody Lashley, back with you again with another edition of the show that is for Panthers fans by Panthers fans. If you would like to join the show, you may do so via the link pinned to the top of the description. You may join via Streamyard and be a part of the discussion that we're going to have here today. You know we appreciate all of your participation on a Friday afternoon in the middle of the off season. Only the most dedicated of the dedicated continue to roll around these parts around this time of year, and we appreciate you all. First up, I wouldn't be able to do it without my loyal members of the C3 Legion. First up, we got my man, my brother, the brand ambassador himself, These Ill Skills. What's up, brother?
Nothing much, man. I'm gonna have to leave and come back in after I do this opening monologue because my camera froze. It's so funny. We sit in here and talk 15 minutes. Camera works fine. As soon as you press the go button, we freeze up. So just go figure. That's why we can't have nice things here in Carolina and these Carolina Panthers.
Brother. Par for the course, man.
No, I'm in a great mood. It's going to be a great weekend. I want to wish all the C3 Panthers fans out there and everybody in the C3 Legion a happy Memorial Day weekend. Have a good and safe time. Enjoy this weekend. Enjoy this time with your family. Make sure you get around the grill at some point this weekend, and hopefully you've got Monday off. What I wanted to kind of start off with here was one small thing I dabbled into this week, and what I was trying to find was somebody to compare to Tetairoa McMillan. Like somebody that we could pull up their college stats and say, okay, well, this guy reminds me of Tetairoa McMillan. This guy has a similar draft status, or somebody that was taken high in the NFL draft in the top 10. Who can we compare this guy to? Because honestly, a real comparison, we won't be able to formulate for another, 3 years before we really know who this guy is. I know one of the questions you ask on X about this show tonight was bringing up Kelvin Benjamin, and we're looking at his numbers, and can Tetairoa defeat those numbers put up by Kelvin all those years ago? And going back and looking at college, let's look at some similar players, okay? So he played 3 years at Arizona. 3,423 was the total number of yards, 3,423. He had 26 touchdowns, drafted number 8 overall, of course. And everybody, first of all, looks to Drake London, but London only did 2 years in college. He only had 1,867 and 15 touchdowns, even though he was drafted at exact same position, number 8th overall. Larry Fitzgerald is a name that comes up. He had 3,000 yards and was drafted 3rd in 2004. Calvin Johnson was even mentioned here at 2,900 yards. 28 touchdowns, 2 more than Tet, drafted at 2nd overall, of course, in 2007. But my best comparison, Cody, is A.J. Green. As of right now, it certainly can change. 3,265 yards for the Georgia Bulldogs, 27 touchdowns. That's just 1 more than Tetairoa. And his draft position was number 4 back in 2011. And one thing I think that's interesting about that is Andy Dalton, of course, played a lot of years with A.J. Green. So they may very well have a plan in place, bringing in a guy that they can coach, and that Andy Dalton can help Bryce Young be a good quarterback too going down the road. So A.J. Green is my current comparison. I'm ready to roll. Let's have a great free-for-all.
Yes, sir. I love that A.J. Green comparison. I heard a couple people make it during the draft process, and if Tet ends up being an A.J. Green, sign me up, brother. I'm down for it. Hey, man, I would never want to do the Friday free-for-all without my brother, Jake the Snake, back on the free-for-all. Brother, how are you, man?
I am doing great, fantastic. I get to spend another wonderful Friday with y'all, my family. Get to talk Panther football. As always, it's going to be a great night, and looking forward to it. Let's get into it, y'all.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, brother. Next up, we got my man, Nick from the Tri-State. Nick, what's up, brother? How you doing, bro?
What's going on, man?
You got the wrong Nick.
Fellas?
Yeah, man, you thought I had the wrong. I threw a curveball at you, but we have multiple different Nicks on the free for all, bro. That's how you know it's about to be lit. Nick from Tri-State, how are you, brother?
All good, all good. How y'all doing?
Yes, sir. I'm doing good, man. Happy to have you back on another Friday free for all.
Appreciate y'all letting me on, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, the free for all. It's in the title, bro. It's free for all. That's how we do it over here. Now we're gonna go to another Nick, the other Nick, the prowling veteran. Nick, what's up, dude?
What's good? What's good, man? What y'all doing, man? I like that. I like that background he got right there. Look at that. Look at he got the Lombardi trophy in the background.
These always got
Yeah, dude's always got the backgrounds, bro.
That's dope, man.
Their backgrounds, bro. You already know that shit, man. Hell yeah, but we appreciate y'all. Boys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell for every single time the C3 Panthers podcast goes live. And literally at the buzzer, sliding in, we got the legend himself, Panther Pickle, back on the free for all. Pickle, what's up, brother?
What's up, guys? My internet's off. They're not going to come out and fix it till tomorrow. I don't know what's wrong. But you know what? I've got my cell phone now. I'm here. So keep after.
I kind of like
Get
it
it.
better. I like the sound of wind chimes in the background.
yeah.
It's peaceful, different from the normal pickle. It's shut the hell up. Now we got some wind chimes. So yeah, that's a nice change of pace, pickle. I appreciate that. I like that.
I love
Hey, man, I'm here to serve.
Yeah, and you do it well, brother. You do it well. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell for every single time the C3 Panthers podcast goes live. Another member of the Legion right at the buzzer, my man D Money in the building. What's up, D
Let's
Money?
go.
Yo, what's going on, C3 family? Yo, just happy to be in the family tonight. Get to talk a little Panther football. You know, like always, if you ain't with us, you ain't welcome to the parade.
Yes, sir. We appreciate y'all. Hit that like, hit that notification bell. You already know what we do. Gentlemen, let's jump into the most recent news. There has been a lot of talk around the Miami Dolphins that Jalen Ramsey is out of there. He wants to be traded. Now, there have been many reports that he is very fond of Ejiro Rivera, who he played with when he was with the Rams, and that the Carolina Panthers could indeed be the landing spot for one Jalen Ramsey. Now, the thought of J.C. Horn and Jalen Ramsey in the same backfield, bro, that gives me all types of feelings, bro. But this is not how does Cody. This is not how does Cody feel for all. This is the Friday free for all. I want to know how y'all feel. Are the Panthers in the running to trade for Jalen Ramsey? I'm gonna let y'all jump. I'm gonna let y'all jump in on this, boys.
They should be.
Yeah, go ahead, Nick, and then these cover me when you're done, brother.
They definitely should be because, I mean, I've been real critical of how there's been a great offseason, but the lack of I mean, you re-sign JC, you re-sign Mike Jack, but there's really no depth. So if you get Jalen Ramsey, you essentially turn a secondary that's a weakness into a strength because Jalen and JC outside with press coverage, they're going to throw timing off routes with wide receivers in the quarterback all day long. So, yeah, it's a win-win situation. Now, the money situation is what's the difficult thing right now. They're saying after June 1st, the salary on his contract is lowered tremendously. So if there's anything that's going to happen, it's going to happen within the next week around June 1st. But I think, with Ejiro Evero, they have a clear connection, but there's also a connection with Raheem Morris. So, I mean, yeah, like Cody just said, I mean, the two teams in the running right now look like it's the Panthers and the Falcons, judging off history. And Jalen already went around and tweeted how much he loved Ejiro and things of that nature. So it's interesting.
Yeah. It is, and I agree. It is. I said on Twitter earlier that I didn't think this was going to happen, and the reason why is because Jalen Ramsey is 31 years old. He's not looking to start off with the team in a rebuild. We look great on paper, but we haven't done anything for real. So now I'm not saying I do hope it happens, but I do question if they bring him in, does Mike Jack take this in stride, or does he scream, well, you promised me I would start? Stuff like that always going to pop into play. But at the same time, you never know who a hidden team is that's going to pick up the phone and say, "Hey, uh, Jalen, we have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Why don't you come on over here with us?" Uh, it's possible. I'm saying it is, but it is possible.
Gyro
And
loves to play that 4-2-5, so essentially Jalen could be the nickel corner. Mike Jack could still be outside when we're in nickel sets. Jalen could just lock down the slot corner.
yeah,
And then when,
like I
when we're
said,
in base, obviously it's Jalen and JC.
right, and it looks great on paper. I 100% agree with you. I've been down this road before, and I don't trust this organization to get it done. I love Dan Morgan, and let me put it this way: if Jalen can come here, Ramsey, because of the Vero connection, that's great. I mean, we'll just I'll be happy about it, and we'll see what this year brings us, and we'll worry about next year. So, but I kind of still doubt it's going to happen, just because at 31, if somebody makes some phone call and say, "Hey, come join us," we'll probably end up going to the Super Bowl or back to the Super Bowl. He may drift over there, but I did see the tweet and the chatter that how much he likes Ivero, and EJ was his guy. I hope that pulls us a long way.
I want it to happen. I'll be honest with you, but I'm with you. I doubt it happens. I really do. I want it to happen though. I feel like a
Right.
pit bull looking at a T-bone steak right now. Damn, I want it to happen, but
Yeah.
I mean, he would just. Our team would be instantly so much better. Like it's literally a plug and play player.
Absolutely. We win
And you-
we're the favorite to win the division if we pick up Jalen Ramsey. And that's me putting my Panther favoritism to the side.
I already posted it too.
No
I'm gonna
doubt.
act crazy. I'm gonna act crazy if we get Jalen Ramsey. I'm definitely saying at least our division.
One thing about it though, if we can snag Jalen Ramsey, there's going to be a lot of people turn to the Panthers and say, "No, what else they got?" And I like that.
So,
I
by
was
the way,
thinking-
Jalen Ramsey, part of the reason why he's in this conversation, and this is an article from, I believe, catcrave.com. Y'all make sure and check them out. Two of Ramsey's three first-team All-Pro selections came when he shared a sideline in Los Angeles with the Giro Rivero, who served as the Rams safeties coach, secondary coach, and defensive passing game coordinator from 2017 to 2021. So there is a proven track record between the two of them. And I don't know, but my biggest question is, what is the money looking like? And would we be able to actually swing this deal? And are we talking about an extension for Jalen Ramsey? How old is he now? Like 30, 31?
31.
He turns 31 in October.
30. He'll be 31 when the season starts. He'll be early in the season. He'll turn 31.
After this season, he has 3 more years on his contract. His contract don't run out till he turns 34.
Listen, so y'all got to remember with this money, don't look at the money what it says on the contract. Any money that's guaranteed on that contract does not come with him. It's only whatever his base salary is. Everything that was guaranteed, the Dolphins still have to pay it regardless. That's how those contracts work.
And it's better if the deal gets done before June 1st as well.
Hey, boys, y'all know what's hilarious about the Dolphins is that they chose not to sign Robert Hunt and another one of their really good players that they let go in free agency in order to sign Jalen Ramsey and Tyreek Hill. And now it looks like both of those dudes are not going to be playing with them this year. Tyreek Hill also wants to be traded, doesn't he? So, dude, if you're the Dolphins, you're kind of wearing
Something's
egg
going
on
down
your
in
face
Miami.
right there.
I don't believe they have any real true coaching. I think that no disrespect to trying to be people's friends, but I think that that's the ploy that he puts in. And no disrespect, I don't believe a leader of men can be everybody's friend.
No, that's a great point, though, man. You have to be willing to
Hey,
keep it real.
Cody, y'all can hear me? Y'all can hear me
Yeah.
well?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, so here it is. I got it right here. So pre-June 1st, if they trade Jalen Ramsey, it's a $25 million dead cap hit. and they only
They're not doing
save,
it before June.
and they
They're not
save
doing it
8
before
million.
June anyway.
Now after June 1st, it's a $10 million save, and it's only $6 million dead cap hit. So it's imminent. It's about to happen.
So,
It's
so
definitely about to
listen.
happen.
So Nick, it's still that $25 million. The only difference is they can spread it out.
Yes,
That's the only difference.
that's a positive for
Yeah, that's a
us.
positive for them right now. So they can. The only difference is if they wait until after June 1st. I mean, they can do it now and still designate it as a post June 1st. Well, I don't know if you can do it with the trades.
Well, no. With cutting, you can
Yeah,
do
Yeah, I
they're
it
don't know
not
if you can do it with the
$25.
trades.
But they're
They're
not.
not going to cut
But
him.
they want to trade him. Now, if nobody comes calling after June, presumptively they could cut him. But at the same time, trading him is easier for him, and there are teams interested. I mean, there
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
teams interested. There's 3 or
What do
4
you think
teams
his trade
interested.
value
So,
is, Pickle and whole panel? What do you guys think of
Trade
the trade value for
value.
him?
That's a good
Third
question.
rounder.
man.
I would say anywhere between the 3rd and the 5th. Now, a 3rd rounder for a 31-year-old is high.
That would have to be a
I'm
Super
gonna be
Bowl
honest.
contending team. It would have to be a
Yeah,
Super Bowl
but
contending team that would give up
I
the
agree
pick.
with you.
but
Yeah.
if hypothetically, and I'm going to throw a team out there because if I was on my computer, I could look this shit up, but I'm not, so I ain't. So
Why wouldn't
if
the Bengals swap Hendrickson for him? Sorry for cutting you off. Why wouldn't
well,
that be
no,
a bad
well,
idea?
the reason why is I doubt Ramsey will be willing to go to the Bengals. The Dolphins want to be respectful to Ramsey. They're not going to trade him somewhere he don't want to go. And to be bluntly honest, why would anybody want to go to the Bengals?
But Pickle,
The
does
Bengals don't give a rat's ass about their defense anyway.
does Ramsey have a no trade clause, or can they
No,
just send him wherever they want?
No.
no.
Legally, they can send him wherever they want.
Yeah. So
But
then, if they
but
decide to send
they
him to
don't.
Cincy, then they might tell him to fuck
Well,
off.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. I mean, if they decide it, then ain't a damn thing he can do except say, no, I'm not going there. But if the Bengals are trying to save cap, not the Bengals, if Miami's trying to save cap because they basically in over their head anyway,
Yeah.
I doubt they take and the Bengals don't want to trade him anyway. The Bengals are stuck on their self thinking that they're so great. The Bengals keep asking a 1st round pick for Henderson.
Yeah. Well, if it's the
Even though
Bengals,
they say yeah, we're paying him. So
I mean, if it's the Bengals or not, if you're a contending team right
Yeah.
now, you're gonna have no problem, upping the price a little bit for Jalen Ramsey.
Right.
And sadly,
Right.
boys, the thing that I think could end up being true is sort of what happened to Milton Williams and the Patriots and the Panthers. Whereas we might want Jalen Ramsey, but another contender out there might be willing to offer up
Shit.
a little more
I keep
even
hitting the wrong
to
damn
bring
button.
him in. And then, next thing we're trying not to win a bidding war. You know what I mean?
I know the name of the team that's been really popular here recently that's been
Who's
linked
that?
to him is the Rams.
No,
Him
but
going
that's
back to the
that.
Rams.
Back to the Rams.
Yeah. That was from the beginning because what you call even McVay got on TV and said that we've been talking to him. Yeah, so yeah, I think
I mean,
it depends on the capital that they want.
a lot of it really does just depend on how much he likes Giro Rivero, doesn't it? Like if he thinks that he can play his best football here.
Yeah, I agree.
And by the way, like that's the thing when you have a dog like JC Horn on the other side,
Yeah.
bro, you're gonna have to pick one of them to throw at.
Well, that's what I was just about to add on to. He don't always have to be the number one corner with JC Horn. They could just rotate or whatever they want to do. He won't always have to be the number one corner.
I don't think he has to be number one at all because at the end of the day, I want to hurt your feelings and stuff like this. Evero is not going to run a press man coverage. He is not going to run press man coverage.
But apparently Ramsey's okay with that, right?
Well, Ramsey's played in the general system before. I mean, it's just not.
He
It's
likes
not
that
that.
system.
Yeah, and
But
well, at the
also-
same time, when Ramsey played for Ejero, he wasn't defensive coordinator. He was secondary coach. There's a
Yes,
difference.
he was. So I don't know. Who was the defensive coordinator?
I don't remember.
Wasn't it
I,
the guy?
it may
Wasn't
be,
it the
it
guy
may
that
have
went
been
to
it may be
Denver?
the or was it the guy that went to the Eagles, DC? Was it him?
It might have been. I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. Somebody have to
No,
look.
no. That
Oh,
if the Eagles come calling, we're fucked. I mean,
yeah. Let me read my man D Money. D Money, have you gotten a chance to speak on this yet? Is Jalen Ramsey a pipe dream, or are you putting that in your pipe and smoking?
Well, he's not a pipe dream. I mean, anything is possible in this scenario. I just think if we're gonna bring Ramsey in, I'm entertaining the idea of moving him to safety. I really am. I'm
Okay.
entertaining the idea. He's almost gonna be 31 or whatever. If not, when he's not at a safety, you can put him at the big nickel, and I think that it would be efficient. The dude has shown that he could play in the secondary. He has the size to be a safety. And I feel like if we can ensure everybody said that we need backside help for these corners, regardless
Yeah.
who we got back there, that maybe might not want to play safety, that's fine. But if you could entertain the idea, I would be even more excited about Jalen Ramsey. The only thing with Ramsey that I would have any concern with is probably the last 2 or 3 years he hasn't been the most healthiest. But when you take that skill set and healthy or close to being healthy, he's a dog. And the main thing that we want is a dog. That's what we've been yelling for and clamoring for. You got Mr. Seatbelt on one side, so if you want to put this dog on the other side, I mean, that's cool. But I'm just thinking as far as being the worst defense in history, right? If we can get great play on the other side from Mike Jackson and we can put Ramsey behind Horn and Jackson, it sounds like it could be a great situation. I haven't heard nobody really talk about it, so maybe it's not a possibility. But when you got a guy that can play and he's got ball skills, no diddy, no oil, you've got to kind of get that dude in your building. You know what I'm saying? You got to get that guy in your building. I don't think it's
Yeah.
necessarily a pipe dream, but I will sit back and just wait and see how it play out before I get excited. It'll be great if he come. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna really shed a tear if he's not. But I would be a little excited if he came.
Yeah, I
Hey,
would too, man.
I want to say this though. Everybody is getting on. I actually think we're gonna be okay at safety, man. I actually no disrespect to anybody who says that those dudes can't cover.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. A lot of people aren't paying attention that we play a different style of defense than the defense that these guys were in before. These dudes were asked to do something different than what they were asked to what they would be asked to do right now.
True.
All you're being asked to do as a safety, as a free safety now, is to pick up a man who's coming that's going to get behind your and to keep him within your zone. That's all you getting asked for. We're not asking for dudes to man up on these dudes and what you call like this. We asking for communication, picking up guys as they pass through one person's zone into your zone, into it's a whole different level playing field. And both of these dudes who we have for safety right now have played free safety and strong safety. Both of them.
Yeah.
And I want to let you know, do not get confused by Latham Ransom's high ass tackling in the run game. Don't get confused with that. This dude did a lot of that from free safety.
They played him everywhere. They played him at free safety, strong safety, and at nickel corner. And he played multiple snaps at all those
but I want you to know he had the highest run defense grade. And if you go look at the percentages from all those places he played, most of them were at free safety.
I've said it before. I really feel that they'll play Ramsey at free safety. And like I said before, though, I would rather have a free safety who damn sure know how to tackle than one who was great in coverage and didn't know how to tackle. Because the Atlanta Falcons took a free safety, are going to play him at the big nickel, and that man doesn't know how to tackle.
Yeah.
Hey, so we got two safeties. We got two safeties that are sure tacklers. We got dudes that are not going to put their head down and just try to lay the wood. No diddy.
That's it.
These are dudes who are going to wrap up and they're going to put the target on the ground. So I'm good with it. I mean, I understand that.
I'm of the mindset though that, man, if you're gonna go and get Jalen Ramsey, an all-pro corner who has been him forever, I think it's a disservice to play him at anything but corner. And to sort of piggyback off of Nick, bro, look, I know he's a rookie. Everybody's really stoked on this rookie class right now, but I really do think that we might have a day one starter and contributor in Lathan Ransom. I really like the idea of Trevon Mooring at the top at free safety, and then you put Lathan Ransom in the box, man. And then if you had a corner trio of Mike Jackson, J.C. Horn, and Jalen Ramsey, like, dude, now all of a sudden we're fucking cooking with gas, boys. Like,
Oh, man, I agree. I agree 100%. But I've noticed a trend in the last 15 or 20 years, like when your corner tends to get up in age, they tend to convert them to safety. So that was one of the reasons why I had that thought process.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But like even as a corner, even if he played corner, I would be ecstatic because of what it could bring. But I just noticed that a lot of guys' career has been able to be stretched and go longer by moving into that safety spot. And I haven't seen too many corners that have moved to safety have that hard of a transition, you know what I'm saying, playing safety. And even when I made the idea of him going to safety, it wasn't more of like an indictment against Ransom or Maury, but you know, certain formations, you got him there. He's a ball hawk. And you know, a ball hawking guy back there can make some things happen. And I agree with everything everybody said. It was just I haven't heard anybody even introduce the idea when it had become kind of like a common practice after a while. Once that corner gets into his 30s, but he can still produce, they tend to go to safety.
But you also know he's got that ego, man. So I feel like he still thinks he's the shit. You know, like he's the best. And I love that about him. You know, I want him to feel that way. But there were some other options on the table too. The only other name that I wanted to put out there that I would really be interested in, if we could figure out a way to make it happen, was Jair Alexander up there at Green Bay. Went to Louisville from the Charlotte area, I believe. Unless
I think they're gonna make him play.
Like that would be incredible.
That was too much money. That's too much money right there.
You think so?
He's one of the top paid corners.
Yeah, but man, dude, just the thought of having Jair Alexander and Jason.
And I don't. I mean, I like I like the thought of it. I mean, I'm going to be 100% agree with you, Cody. I like the thought of it, but one thing the reason that they would even think about getting rid of him because he hasn't been healthy lately either.
Yeah.
They haven't been a lot of chatter about him still being on the trade block after the draft. There's not a lot of chatter about that.
No, I haven't seen much about him recently.
Yeah, I don't think that they can get rid of him. I don't think anybody want to pick up his contract. And then
so this is
I don't know, man.
This is what that same website wrote about Jair Alexander. He says Alexander, like Ramsey, is a certified stud whose contract would require a bit of tinkering to accommodate. The 28-year-old is locked in for 2025 and 2026 at an average cap hit of $25.8 million. That's an expensive price tag. Which is the Panthers just dumped a bag of money into J.C. Horn and re-signing Mike Jackson. A move for Alexander, however, would give Horn a much more formidable running mate, and assuming Jackson gets knocked down a spot, provide the fan base with some much-needed depth at cornerback. Now, he's a little bit younger. If you were talking about long-term, who would you rather have? Yeah, because he is younger, I would prefer Jair Alexander. It's just a price tag that kind of makes
if he can't stay healthy, it doesn't matter how younger he is. He can't stay healthy now, then I'm not willing to give $25.8 million for a part-time guy.
Hey, what about either of those two dudes right there, like Greg Newsome and Amik Robinson too?
Hey,
I think
Greg
Newsome production from Alexander or Ramsey, either one to come in, I think you're going to get similar production. That's just my opinion.
Greg Newsome. Hey, Greg. Hey, I'm a low key. If you actually go look at the Cleveland Browns might have the best cornerback room in the NFL.
Newsome is a beast, bro. I've been a fan of him since he was at what was it? Was it TCU?
UNC. No, he was at UNC, wasn't he? Was it
No,
Newton?
no. I want to say maybe Northwestern.
It
Yeah,
was
I
one
think
of
it was
them one. It
Northwestern.
was one of them dudes that was with almost the same name that was at UNC too.
Let me see.
Hey, the dude nice though.
We ain't had no high profile corner at UNC since Dre Bly.
He went to Northwestern.
It was
Yeah, he went to
Northwestern.
Northwestern. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I was a fan of
I-
him when he was in the draft too. Long, tall, fast. Go ahead, Jake.
Now, I was just going to say, I know we already got off the topic about the safety, but
No, you're fine.
I just want to say real quick that if you don't think that Evero's not going to have our safeties cover wide receivers one-on-one in the red zone, think again, because he did it over and over again with Jordan Fuller, and he got cooked.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, but that's different though. That's different. In the red zone, things condense, and you kind of have to do that thing. You can't do the whole zone thing, so you got to pick up whoever's in front of you. So that part I can get, but I don't. So people acted like Lathan Ransom had like a 40 pass defense. It was actually a 60. He just really good. He's a really good run defender. I mean, can you not that?
They used him where they needed him.
Yeah,
and you can't discount Ohio State for doing that. But that's what I said. Ramsey can play free safety. It's just people see, he can tackle excellent, and he lined up in the box, so that means he's a strong safety. He can't play free safety. That's all that is. That's just bias, 1 year biasism.
Yeah,
well, my problem is I don't think it's gonna really matter who we have back there. If Mike Jackson starting, Jalen Ramsey, Newsome, Yair Alexander, whoever the hell you put back there, if we can't get to the quarterback. So we really need to be praying these young guys coming off, because that's what helps your secondary. Even though it's complimentary, your secondary doing great secondary things, but we've got to get to the quarterback, man, or it's gonna be a moot point to me, honestly.
Yeah, that's the key. D-Money, right? That's the key. If you're not getting to the quarterback, who's gonna cover for 4.5 seconds?
Yes.
If y'all didn't realize that was the average. That was the average for the Carolina Panthers, 4.5 seconds.
Well,
the average for the league was 2.5 seconds.
So can I be real with y'all, man? Like Jalen Ramsey or Alexander, bro, that would be dope. I would love that.
It would be dope.
But I'm gonna be real. I'm not tripping on this backfield as is.
Me neither.
I'm really not, man. I like Shao Smith-Wade as a potential future long-term nickel. I like Mike Jackson, what he was able to do at the outside this year. And they just traded for him last season, after the draft, and he came in and he did a great job.
It was an underrated trade, honestly.
Like I already mentioned before, I'm okay with Trevon Mooring and Lathan Ransom being the guy. Who's the other guy's name? Is it Damani Richardson?
Damani Richardson.
Yeah. So Richardson is also on the table here. They're going to compete, but obviously we're all hoping to see the young man step up, the big time hitter, and really make a difference. I think that's what we're all hoping for. And maybe I'm hopeful, but right now I expect that to be what happens. So if we get someone awesome, I love Dan Morgan for making it happen. But if he also finds himself in another Milton Williams situation where he just doesn't want to overbid someone else, I'm fine with that too.
Right. And I will throw something about the pass rush y'all talking about. My wife popped her head out to see what I was doing. So I wanted to say real quick, I think we'll have a better pass rush than we've had in the last 5 years. Because one thing about these rookies, one thing about the rookies, and not just the rookies, the Patrick Jones that we got from the Rams, they've got heart. They've got more heart than anybody we've brought in the last 5 years. To me, and they have talent. They have loads of talent, and they have heart. That gets you a long way if you're put in the right scheme. Like I said before, Ejero's fighting for, by and large, his NFL career. So he's not going to come out with his hands in his pockets, hoping and praying one guy fixes it all. He's going to go for broke this year. I believe I believe we're going to be. I believe we're going to be all right in the pass rush department. I really do. Now, can we get to the quarterback faster than the quarterback can get the ball out? We hope so. But at the same time, uh, we're dealing with a lot of mobile quarterbacks right now in our league in the division.
Yeah.
And we just are. So that's something that we as a fan base need to understand. I kind of was hoping that that some of these pocket passers would stay in the league a little bit, but you know,
Look, Pickle, hey, I'm gonna tell you right now.
I ain't
So
lying.
I agree with you. I agree with you. We're gonna be dealing with a lot of more running quarterbacks and all that kind of stuff like that. But at the end of the day, our real issue has been not having the dudes that can close on those guys quickly. We have the two
You're
dudes
right.
that they're gonna force those dudes to throw. This is why I keep telling y'all people this defense that Evero is trying to run. I don't want nobody to come for my head. The defense that he is
We ready
trying
to
to
run.
run is predicated for the pass rush being successful. Because if you can force somebody to make a dumb throw,
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
and
Yeah,
guess what?
that's what we
And this is
want.
what your cornerbacks are in a zone. So they are
Right.
facing the quarterback. So that way, if he makes a dumb throw, they are going to react on it extremely fast. So that's why,
Right.
just like you and D this pass rush, this pass rush, and Evero is the type of guy he wants to get there with four. He wants to get there with four. He does not want to blitz. We had one of the lowest blitz rating percentages in the league. Obviously, I know what everybody said every time he did do it, it got there. So I don't know why he didn't do it more. It's not his game. It's not. He's not going to. I'm pretty sure that he's not going to change. He's not going to change that part of his game. So
Well,
I don't.
when he was in Denver as DC, he got a lot of sacks that year. And he didn't get them all from one spot. He got them from multiple different areas, and you never knew where that guy that was coming after you was coming from. And you can go look at the stats, and you'll see that year he was DC for Denver. He got a bunch of sacks, but they all come from different places.
Hey, so
Yeah, but
outside of the two young guys, Princely and Nick, can I tell y'all who I'm really the most excited about this year
DJ
on
Warren.
this D-line?
I already know what you about to say. Or Derek Brown. Which one?
Tershawn Wharton.
Oh, Tershawn
Right.
Wharton gonna be. He's going to be.
Bro, when you watch this dude's tape, bro, dude is a problem. Like
Right.
for real, the dude has
Right.
crazy violent hands,
Right.
and the thought of him next to Derek Brown this year, like I don't want to get too high on our own supply, but I really feel like that's going to be a very dynamic tandem this year. And if our young guys ball out, I think it's largely going to be because of a very disruptive interior defensive line.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, Cody, because he has the athleticism of a defensive edge rusher.
Yeah,
But he has the size. He has almost the size of a defensive tackle.
and I do
'Cause he's-
think that we will play him on the edge sometimes too.
Yeah,
they probably will.
He said himself that the whole time he was in Kansas City, he played in the wrong position. So his natural position may be outside in a 3-4, but because he was stuck in Kansas City's 4-3, they used him where they needed him. Because if you look at Kansas City's edge rushers, they don't need him on the edge. They used him where they needed him. So
Yeah.
I need Derek Brown to be healthy. Let the Lord bless that man with health for the rest of his career.
Yes,
Our defense is
Man,
so much
what
better
I-
than
him and-
Louisville.
him and JC, bro.
I want to see Derek Brown take a left guard and toss him into the back row. That's what I
Oh, you know he can do it. You know he can do it.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. I am so happy Robert Hunt is on our team.
Yeah,
Oh, amen to that too.
love that
I don't know if
dude.
y'all ever go back and look at when we played the Dolphins the year before Robert Hunt. Look what Robert Hunt did to Derek Brown.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, Robert Hunt's that dog, bro. And Dan Morgan knows how to identify them dogs. And
Dogs,
listen, man,
man. Dogs,
if
man.
y'all want to talk about a seamless transition, if you want to talk about a dog from Dan Morgan, well, bro, let's talk about this dude. Of course, this is up on me. Hold up. This dude, there we go.
I don't like that picture.
He look like he coming on to his girlfriend.
Yeah, my man out here.
He got that Jordan brand.
My man out here, big time cheesing. Listen, my question is very simple. This was posed by the Sleeper Panthers account. In 2014, Kelvin Benjamin broke the Panthers rookie receiving record with 1,008 yards. My question is very
This
simple.
kid will probably break it.
Does
This kid will probably break it.
Nalo Tetairoa McMillan break the mark of Kelvin Benjamin in his rookie campaign 2025? It's a clear for all, boys. Jump on it.
Hey, I'm gonna say this. Let me say this
He
first.
breaks it before week 10.
Hey, let me say this too.
Damn,
Let me say this right now. I love this kid. I know a lot of people aren't high because we didn't pick a defensive end on the first. This kid is the type of dude who you throw the ball in his radius, he's going to snatch it out the air. I don't care I don't care where the ball is at. If he can find the ball and locate the ball and track it down, he's going to snatch it out the air. This dude does not catch with his body. He literally will go up and take it out the air. I love this kid. I think he breaks it. I'm not gonna go week 10 because that means he's gonna get 100 yards, 100 plus yards every week. But I do believe he's going to break it.
Let me live my life.
I'm gonna let you live. I'm gonna let you live. I just don't.
Bro, look, could you imagine if this dude really does end up being a fucking superstar? Like, let's say he does year one, what he did the past 2 years in college, and puts up some wild shit like 1,300. It's like, dude, he would be a legend
It's about time.
instantly, man.
Shit, it's about time.
It is time, Jake.
Yeah, you had no.
Bro.
When the last time we had 1,000? Oh, well, we had 1,000-yard receiver. Let me say this: when have we had a wide receiver get close to like 1,600 yards? When the last time we had that?
Probably Steve Smith, right? Still Smitty.
Probably.
Last time we had a wide receiver put up what?
Like 1,600 yards, 1,600 yards.
Yeah,
Like
because
big
I don't
boy
think we ever
numbers,
got
big
that with
boy
DJ
numbers.
Moore.
Probably the
No,
last
he-
time we had a quarterback that was worth a damn.
Yeah, it had to be Steve. It had to be Steve.
Yeah, it had to be Steve.
Yeah, so here we go, man. If we can, we watch these. Even if he only gets 1,400 yards, when have we had that?
Yeah. Let me
How
know,
much
my
did
man.
Calvin Benjamin have when he was there?
My brother, DJ Skittles, tell me the truth about Nalo in 2025.
I mean, the truth is the sky's the limit. Look where we drafted him. Drafted him at number 8 overall. I mean, the expectations are high, and I guess the expectation should be that he's able to break Kelvin Benjamin's record. But I don't know that we'll be that dependent on just Nalo. We might be a run first team. We're loaded there. We got a great offensive line. There's no reason why we can't run the ball. We don't know how the defense is going to hold up either. The defense may be putting us in positions where we're running the clock out rather than passing the ball down the field. That could mute his stats some. Plus, spreading the ball around. That was something Darren Gant pointed out in a podcast he put up today, that he felt like just having this many wide receivers on the Panthers team was something that he's not used to seeing. He's not used to seeing this much competition in the wide receiver room, and it may be the case that Bryce Young is actually that.
No, I don't want.
You're bleeding over, Pickle. He might be that point guard that David Tepper always wanted him to be. It could be the case moving forward.
It could be. I like that. I like. Listen, I don't care if none of these dudes don't break 1,000 yards. If we have 2 or 3 wide receivers with 800 plus yards, with 5 or 6 or 7 touchdowns apiece, we're doing fine. Because in that case, that means that we probably ran the ball a lot. And I'm going to tell you right now, just like he was just saying right now, I'm going to say the first 3 games, these dudes are going to test our defensive line and see if we can stop the run. The first
Yo,
3 games, you're going to see dudes try to do the same thing that they did to us last year, and it is not going to change until we shut them up.
at the
So,
end of this season, I think our most dangerous wide receiver is going to be Jimmy Horn.
oh yeah, Jimmy Horn gonna be nasty, bro.
Uh,
Jimmy
By the
Horn's gonna
time
be
you add
nasty.
in his return ability with his movements that he offers and the return, oh yeah, he's going to be dangerous. He's going to be dangerous.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people say, "Oh, he's not gonna get that. Tet's not gonna get open." I'm like, did y'all see in college where it didn't matter if the dude was draped all over him? He still caught the ball.
Right.
Dudes could be
Right.
all over him. He was just like, "Hey, just throw it over here. I'm gonna get it," and he got it.
Yeah.
That man's
Yeah.
got sticky hands, bro. He don't drop
There
the
was a
ball.
dude. I remember there was one in the end zone. The dude was damn near on his back, and he just was like, "Yo," and he caught it with one hand. It was like, "Whoa!" Like,
The slowest wide receiver I've ever seen play lined up for the Saints, and nobody could stop him. And I believe he went in the 7th round. Marcus Colston.
well, not even that. Let's think about this. Let's think about this. If you actually go back and look at the 40 times, him and Mike Evans are about the exact same, and nobody can stop him.
Right.
It doesn't even matter if who's on Mike Evans. You can put 2 dudes on Mike Evans. You still can't stop him.
That's fact. That's fact.
I understand speed kill, but we obviously haven't seen somebody who just has that ridiculously over the top speed in the NFL be 100% successful. John Ross, we look at John Ross. Dude's not even in the league anymore.
Right.
He had that over the top speed, but he could not run routes. And he could, and so it didn't even matter. And dudes would just press him. And everybody's like, "Oh well, Tyreek Hill is fast as crap." Well, you realize that Tyreek Hill is more dangerous in space than he is going over the top. I mean, him and the other boy from Miami, they are more dangerous in space than they are going over the top. Like, I prefer a dude who is quick. I don't even care if they have to, because you remember Tyreek Hill doesn't even have to be open. You can be 2 yards away from him, and if he catches the ball 5 yards down the field, there's a chance he might take it to the house. I'm not sold on this whole extreme speed is the best thing. However, if these dudes can, as long as he can catch the ball, and if this dude has I think it was a 14-yard average per catch.
Yeah, it's close to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that. That means he get a first down every time he catches the ball.
I think he gets offensive rookie player of the year, honestly.
I mean, only way I'm gonna say he get is if Cam Ward shits the bed. You need Cam Ward to shit the bed. That's the only. I'm sorry.
Anything's possible when it comes to the Titans.
So now, if Cam Ward come out here and look, because you realize, I know we all know that they love to give everything to the quarterback. So
yeah, the Titans are a bad football team. Let's just be honest. A lot of people wanted this time last year said how badass the Bears were going to be, and was the Bears badass? No, the hell they was not. So the Titans are not a good football team. I live in Tennessee. I watch the coverage of the Titans a lot. They're a bad football team. One quarterback ain't changing that damn team.
yeah. Well, I mean, but Pickle, it ain't always about the team as a whole. What I'm saying is that Cam Ward can't play good if any other player is going to get offensive rookie of the year. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that the Titans will do good or anything like that, but Cam Ward got to play like freaking from the boy from Chicago did last year. You can't have no Jaden Daniels out there this year, or ain't nobody getting it
No,
but a quarterback.
no. And we don't know what else. Really, some of these guys that we were high on in the draft on offense, we don't know necessarily. I mean, you got to remember the Packers drafted a Golden too, so that's the
I'm
first
gonna
time
say
they
this right
drafted
now,
a. It's the first time they drafted a wide receiver in the first round since 2002.
but I'm gonna say this right now. A lot of people were high on Golden, but a lot of people
I
don't
was.
want to. A lot of people don't want to admit the truth about Golden. Golden is one thing: straight line speed. If he has to stop and turn the other direction, he is getting tackled. If you go look at every last one of his games, he can get behind you, but if he has to stop to catch the ball, he is getting tackled. He does not. He has track speed. He doesn't have quickness. He does not have extreme acceleration. He is not your boy from Kansas City or Tyreek Hill or freaking Jalen Waddle. Those dudes can go from 0 to 100 really fast. Golden he got that long speed. If he gets behind you, if he catches the ball over the top in stride, you're not going to catch him. But if he has to stop to slow down to get the ball, you're probably going to catch him. I'm sorry. It is the truth. You can go watch every last one of his games. The dude and he's actually bigger than a lot of these other receivers are. And I'm like, dude, you can't break a tackle?
Yeah. I mean, listen, one part of the reasons why I'm personally high on Tetairoa this year is because I feel like what he can do in a play action pass type of offense can be special. And that's literally the type of wide receiver that Dave Canales wants in this offense. That big body jump ball receiver who can run on those post routes, the corner routes, and who can make open space just based off of his jump ball ability. I think it's going to make everything so much easier if we're able to run the football like we're all predicting that we're going to with this offensive line and all the depth that we've been able to bring back. I'm really high on my man Nalo this year, man.
Hey, there's a huge chance that we might have 2 1,000-yard running backs. There's a huge chance of that this year. I think that there's a better chance for us having 2,000-yard running backs than there is for us having 2,000-yard wide receivers. I'm just saying.
As long as we run the ball like we're supposed to.
I mean, but listen, I want to put this in perspective. Look at what happens to running backs when they have 400 plus touches in a single season. Look at what happens. We've seen it happen to McCaffrey 2 times. Literally, he got healthy. He got to he had that fantastic season where he was getting looked at to get freaking MVP. And now what we've seen? He's been hurt. Every time you see a run, and you're gonna say, "Oh, well, it didn't happen to Derrick Henry." That's a lie. The year that Derrick Henry had 400 touches, the very next year he broke his foot.
Chris
Broke his
McCaffrey
foot.
has Achilles tendonitis in both his legs.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so
Yeah,
I'm
and his. Go ahead.
no. Go ahead, Pickle.
No, his dad, Chris McCaffrey's dad, really gave him McCaffrey down the road because he said that after that, he said you're just hurting yourself with you're training your body too hard in the off season, and then in the regular season you can't make it you can't make it through the full season. He said your biggest enemy is yourself. So that's all I want to say.
Yeah. Hey, man, let me welcome in our homie from the West Coast, holding it down for the C3 Legion, is our boy, Alex, DC3 Cali Cat. Alex, what's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on, Cody? What's going on, guys? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, brother. How you feeling, man?
I'm doing all right. I kind of wanted to jump in on that conversation about like
Do
our
your thing,
corners
bro.
and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean,
Right.
one thing about our corners that I noticed all year last year was they actually were covering pretty well. I just thought that we didn't get enough pressure to the quarterback, and there was just so much time back there, and guys were getting open because of it. Like you can only guard the receiver for so long until it breaks down and someone gets open. So I actually think that, like, I've always thought if we get pressure on a quarterback, he's gonna make a bad throw, and that's where our secondary is gonna step up. And that's what I'm hoping for this year. We're gonna have Derek Brown back. We got a couple guys that we signed during this offseason. So I mean, that's kind of my thinking as far as the coverage goes. I'd rather go a different direction, like with Ramsey. I mean, if he comes here, great. I mean, obviously that's a positive. I mean, that's a step up. But I think there's other positions that I'd much rather look at. Like I'd rather go like maybe another safety or possibly like a linebacker for our team. But that's just me.
There is I actually think I'm gonna say this right now. One, I think your boy freaking Xavier Leggett is gonna have a breakout year this year. I also think that Wallace is gonna have a breakout year this year. I actually think that Wallace will probably have a year that we just was like, oh my God, we got a linebacker again.
I
That's
like
honestly what
Wallace.
I actually think that Wallace is probably going to have a ridiculous year because I actually coming in and not and having to be put your feet to the fire when both your starters go out. I think he's going to make leaps and bounds because this year he knows I'm the dude.
Yeah, you could be right. Honestly, he did make an imprint last year as a rookie. You did see some rookie, woes, and obviously he got injured later in the year. But
Yeah.
yeah, we could definitely see something. I like that we have a good mix of like young, confident guys coming in, or guys that even played last year. I think they're taking the right steps. The franchise itself is taking the right steps in the right direction. Like we finally are bringing back a coaching staff, like where we're not all sitting around watching Tepper go up to the podium and be like, "Here's another head coach. Here's another." Like we're finally kind of making the right steps in the right direction. So it's nice to see. Hopefully we just keep going and keep pushing forward because yeah, it looks better. You could see it. The O line, we had like an identity somewhat last year, so it's like the defense was just really
Horrid.
really bad. It was horrible.
Listen,
So
I'm going to say this right now. Everybody still gives Tepper a hard time, man. But how many times have we actually seen Tepper other than calling these rookies and saying we're about welcome to the team or something like that? How many times have we seen him? The dude has basically faded out. And I know y'all remember before we picked up Dave Canales, before they said, damn, I said if he hires somebody to be the president of football operations, I think he's going to take a back seat to this ride. Obviously, he's still the owner, and they're still going to have to go to him for certain things. But I honestly believe he's letting Dan make the decisions.
Yeah.
I don't think he's other than maybe them having to justify picking a wide receiver in the first round. I don't think that they're really having to justify anything to Tepper. Tepper is literally being an owner and owning and realizing I'm not a football dude.
No, I mean really, and apologies for me being sort of in and out here, but if we're talking about the player personnel guy that just got fired, I feel like this is another cherry on top of Dan Morgan actually building out this front office as he sees fit, really getting rid of the old regime, thanking guys for their time, but really putting guys in position that he deems necessary to building this football team the right way. I like that we're moving in that direction towards building a cohesive unit in the front office. What do you guys make of recent changes to the front office that Dan Morgan has made?
Oh, I
Hey,
mean,
that's great, man. We shouldn't have put people in the front office on the scouting team that have been there for 20 years, and we don't have. You realize, but after the last three drafts, how many players are still on the team?
Yeah, not many at all. Almost none, right? Like, yeah, dude, it's bad. It's
You
bad.
can't you can't keep the same thing in place, and you're not keeping these players. You don't want to sign them to long-term contracts. You don't want to do anything with them. So at the end of the day, if we can't have dudes that are going to help us build the team, then they got to go. I'm sorry. I know that it's
Yeah,
not the feel good story and all that kind of stuff. And we want to be the we're a family friendly organization and all that kind of stuff like that. But this is a business, man. They got to go.
how did that guy Haynes have a? How did he get 22 years with Carolina? I
22
don't
years.
I don't understand. I don't
that's
get it.
insane. So,
Because he was best buddies with JR, and then he just
Yep.
so this
continues
right
the
here
cycle.
says Panthers director player personnel Cole Spencer is no longer with the organization. A league source confirmed he joined the org in 2021 and rose from director of college scouting to player personnel director.
Listen,
Oh,
look at
wow.
that.
Okay, no, yeah, Joe Pershman has it first. As Joe mentioned, the timing is a bit delayed from the norm. Spencer previously spent time as a scout from Washington from 2010 to 2020.
Yeah, Washington sucked during that time. So why the hell did they hire him to
Yeah,
start
yeah,
with?
really.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I
it's
mean,
just.
come on,
But
man. We can
just
if you
shut up.
if it ain't working, you got to change it, man. You can't just
Right.
keep these dudes forever.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's
yeah, and some of it's, shout out to Tepper for taking a step back. Um, rest in peace, Jim Irsay, the Colts owner. He was the general manager once. He tried the Jerry Jones rule, and he said, "No, this ain't working." So he called Bill Polian, and Bill Polian took over. Then they drafted Peyton Manning. Anyway, the rest is history. But I think the best. I appreciate Tepper stepping back, let Dan do what he's saying, and Dan's took that rope and let it, and I really like that. I like the fact that Dan's not afraid to go get somebody he likes, and he's not afraid to say, "Dude, you suck. You're out of here." Boom, you're gone.
yeah. I think that a lot of people there's a lot of hate on Tepper, and I've actually liked Tepper because he makes aggressive moves, and I actually like that because when it was Jerry Richardson in house, it was a little bit different. It was a little bit more family oriented, a little bit more like,
Mhm.
all right, like we're gonna keep giving these guys some chances. It's fine.
Right.
But like I like that Tepper just kind of boom. He just needed. I know we've talked about it with Pickle knows. We've talked about like he just needed to learn how to be an owner because he's never been an owner. Like he's
Right.
been like behind the scenes with the Steelers, but he never really
Right.
owned a franchise. So it's like now he's
Right.
learning, and I think he's taking that step back, but he's starting to see like, hey, if I pay the right guys that have the football knowledge and the football brains, it could take us pretty far, and you're starting to see it now. And hopefully, the scouting department, we'll see this year. Like we got a new scouting team. We
Mhm.
made some nice draft picks. So let's see how they produce on the field this year, and then go from
Right.
there.
Yeah,
Right.
man, I love the feel good story, and I know the world loves the feel good story and all that kind of stuff like that. But this is a business. This is a place of business, and this has to be ran like a place of business. We're gonna I mean, and that's why I have taken a step back to saying that I'm not getting emotionally attached to these players because at the end of the day, this is a business. If we want to
Yeah.
win Super Bowls or we want to be a
Mhm.
consistent winning organization, we have to make the moves that are sometimes not going to make you feel good on the inside. Because
Yeah.
if you don't, You're going to have exactly what we had. How has our strength and conditioning coaches lasted as long as they have? Look at what happened to Cam. Look at what happened to him. Literally.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Like, there's no reason those same strength and conditioning guys, the same doctors, none of them should have still been there.
You're
You
right.
remember?
You're right. It's
You look at
shameful that they lasted that long. It
you look
really
at
is,
it, man.
and
These are the dudes.
it's double shameful. It's double shameful that that they were here for as long as they were, and it's triply shameful that Dan Morgan, as soon as he was hired as GM, he said, "Now I'm doing it my way." So, Mr. Tepper, you go sit down over there. Mr. Trainer, you get your shit, you get out. Mr. Scouting guy, you get your stuff, you get out. Y'all suck, and you're out. Because, as I said before, shout out to C3 Cole, who's taking some time away. But I can't help but look and say, and I really believe this is true, that Dan Morgan said, "Okay, Mr. Trainer, you told me Wilson, who Dan liked, wasn't worth being drafted because he had bad knees. He played pretty good for the Steelers. You told me that Brooks was going to return this year and be a stud. He's on IR. You told me all these guys was going to be good, and they wasn't. You told me these guys wasn't going to stay healthy, and they did. You're out of here." That's what
Yes, sir. Hey, I love what Dan Morgan is doing to the front office and just in how he's decided to bring about talent to this football team, bro. But hey, man, let me welcome someone to the pod. My friend, my bro from the Black Cat Panther Podcast. It's the homie Poppin' back on the free for all. Pop, what up, dude?
Bang bang. What's going on, y'all?
Yeah. What up with you, bro?
Yeah, doing all right. I see we got Ben in here. We got Prime Pickle.
Yes, sir.
That's got to be DJ Skills with that beautiful graphic.
Oh, you already
Yeah,
know,
It
man.
is, man. It is.
The
Just
whole
a
legion's
stick,
in
and-
the house, bro. How you feeling?
I don't
Yes,
know
sir.
who that is, but no icon over there is over there to the right. I don't know who that is.
How you feeling, bro? We've talked about it a lot tonight. Pop, feel free to touch on
Yeah.
whichever.
I've been able to pop in and out.
Yeah, man.
No pun intended. I would love the Jalen Ramsey deal. If there's I see, the thing is, I don't have to worry no more with Brant Tillis being here if we're gonna have a good contract with him. So I used to worry about that back in the day. So I ain't had to worry about that. No. I know I got a brainiac when it comes to the numbers. He's gonna make sure we're not gonna be screwed. So hey,
Look. If Marty Hurney was here right now, we'd have $60 million worth of dead cap.
You are not lying.
Yeah.
You are not lying. Yeah.
If I went another
We-
day
we-
without ever hearing the name Marty Hurney, it'd be too soon.
Amen.
I didn't get to hear the part y'all talking about McMillan. I just seen his picture up there.
Yeah, will he break Kelvin Benjamin's 1,008-yard rookie campaign? Will Tet eclipse that this year?
Okay. So I don't think so.
Boom, boom,
Damn,
boom, wah.
Yeah.
I heard him crickets.
I expect like 800 yards, but we still got Thielen here. We still got is able to get here. You got 2,000-yard running backs, and you got Bryce. So,
Hey, look, Pop it. What I tell you, man, you can't let Bryce deter you from this team being good this year.
I
can't
think
let you can't let it happen, man.
I'm not saying that. I'm
No,
just
look, man,
thinking
can
that-
I keep it real with y'all? Like all the high expectations that JC Horn had in year one, and then he was sort of disappointing to people, dropping shit, and now everybody wants to jump off that train. I fear that something similar could happen to Tet. And I want to go on record, man. No matter what happens with Nalo this year, if he tears it up or if he's kind of sucking, he's going to need more than this 1 year for us to really know what kind of player that he's going to be. Obviously, we would love for him to fucking turn it on and burn it up from day one, but it might take him some time. And then Pop makes a lot of good points. Maybe not about Bryce, but that offensive line, bro, we about to be running this bitch, bro. Like, but we brought back all of our offensive line depth. You know, our interior offensive line is probably the best that it has been in more than a decade, if not ever. You know, we're going to run the ball. It might be okay to, you know, temper your expectations a little bit. Maybe 1,000 is a bit too much for year one. I was of the mindset that 700 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns would be a reasonably decent set of stats for Nalo year one.
Yeah, I think
that would be good. I like that stat line for year one. But at the end of the day, you know what it is? What it is? We got a crazy ass fan base. We got a crazy ass fan base. And what's going to happen is if he doesn't get 1,000 yards, these dudes are going to be coming for him, saying, "Oh, so don't let him not get 1,000 yards and let freaking your boy in Atlanta play good this year." These dudes.
You know what?
Oh yeah.
You know what? This fan base can shut the goddamn hell up. That's what the fuck they on the cage. Let me tell you what. One thing I like about Bryce don't concentrate on one receiver or 2 receivers and ignore everybody else. He's going to throw it to the guy. He's going to throw it to the guy who will catch the ball. And guess what? If you don't catch the ball, he's going to go after your ass again. And if you still don't catch the ball, hopefully he don't go after us a third time, but that's Bryce. He's going to throw it to the open guy. Now, that being said, do you wish Bryce was taller? Yeah. Do you wish he had a little bit bigger build? Yeah, but he ain't. So I'm accepting him for who he is.
Yeah, we got what we got. We got what we got at this point.
That man can take a hit. I don't care what anybody says.
He can. You know what? There's a lot of quarterbacks. One of them was with the Jags, another was with the Dolphins. They can't take a hit. They just can't. I'm sorry. They can't take a hit. You know, I like quarterbacks who can take a hit.
And he's been the most accurate I think we've ever had, honestly. I think he's been the most accurate quarterback we've had.
Oh, by far he is. He is. Now,
hey, look. Hey, that's true. That's true. And that is 100% true. But I think that we had the opportunity to make Cam the most accurate quarterback we would have ever had. But we didn't take that opportunity.
But our issue with Cam, and you know what? I'm going to throw this out there because I've been wanting to do it, and I ain't had the opportunity, so I'm going to take this. You know what, Eagles fans, shut the hell up. Your Jalen Hurts is not as good as you want him to be. Let me tell you what, if Cam Newton had that offensive line, he would have broke the record for a quarterback. Quarterback touchdown. You know what, Cam Newton never needed a grown man to pat him on the ass to get over the line of scrimmage.
He don't need no damn tush push.
Yeah, dude, there was times I thought it was just Cam. There was no front line. There was just Cam back there, just making moves.
He could literally fly. That dude could fly, man.
I still think.
This is me looking at it objectively. This is me looking at it objectively and not being a fan. This is me looking at it objectively. I don't think Jalen Hurts needs them dudes to push him either, but that's the play that they run, and it gets an extra. They get like 3 yards when they push him. So I mean, at the end of the day, I do not believe because Jalen Hurts. If y'all don't realize it, Jalen Hurts is a big man. Jalen Hurts ain't no little dude, man.
No, he's not.
And the dude squats. That dude squats 700 pounds. Ain't no way you stopping him. Ain't no way you stopping him on the first impact.
Hey man, let me go to Diesel.
He gonna push at least one person.
Hey bro, Diesel Skills put together this really good chart that he found or put it together. I don't know, the top 10 most accurate quarterbacks in Panthers history. D, tell us a little bit about what's going on here.
No, I just thought it was hilarious that we got to it in our conversation because we did the same thing on the Legion Spaces Monday night. We got to the same area of conversation about the accuracy because it does feel like Bryce is an accurate quarterback. And like Pickle said on the Spaces, it feels like Cam Newton probably was the most accurate quarterback we ever had in his prime, but we just didn't put the people around him. So I took this to Gronk and asked Gronk to help me with this. And this is the chart that we were able to come up with. Steve Berline up there at the top, of course. Teddy Bridgewater is surprisingly behind him. Then, of course, Jake Malone and Cam Newton, like it should be. But look at Bryce Young right there at number 5 afterwards. Andy Dalton at 6. Matt Moore at 7. Nobody likes that. Sam Darnold at 8. Everybody hates that. So it's an interesting chart when you start looking at the completion percentages, what yards they threw for, and like their length of time here. And like, as long as Cam was the general of this offense carrying this team, you'd have to put him at number 1. So I agree with what y'all were saying. I just thought it was a good opportunity to throw the chart up there so other Panthers fans could ask themselves the same question.
Dude, look at Steve Berline still up there rocking.
Yeah,
Wow,
Teddy was up there. And I'll be honest with you, in my opinion, shout out to the Teddy Bridgewater fans. I mean, no, what the hell? Yes, the hell I do. I hope to offend your ass.
Yeah,
That was the
Nonetheless, Teddy Bridgewater is there because all he wanted to do was throw the short, safe throws.
Yeah,
You know, he didn't want to throw the deep or the intermediate throws that actually mattered.
Teddy
But
Two
anyway.
Gloves.
But you know, Nick, not to turn the corner, but maybe Jalen Hurts' issue is he likes men to touch his ass. You know what I'm saying?
Woo-hoo!
Maybe that's what
And you know what?
Hey,
If that's his thing, yeah, we
that's
don't.
his thing. I said, we're not
And you
discriminating.
know what? We don't judge nobody. If
Nope.
you want some hands on your tush, do your thing, bro. But that's not us over here. That's not us over here, bro. We're not over here in Carolina. We're not touching tushes, bro. I'm just saying, dog.
Hey, you know
I
what's
also want to
crazy,
say
man?
that
It was crazy to watch how many teams voted to not take it.
Yeah, they
To not
mad
take
as
it out.
hell, bro. They mad
But
as hell. Bro, y'all
but you know
remember?
what?
Y'all remember in 2015 when Cam Newton was like, "Hey, bro, you don't want me dancing. Don't let me in." You know what I mean? Like that feels like
That
the
was
same
cold.
shit. Yeah, bro. Like if your season is dependent upon banning the tush push, bro, y'all hopeless anyway. Come on.
I'm telling you.
so
I'm
I
telling you.
was
Go ahead, Pop.
that picture that you had up there with T Mac. I'm kind of glad that he's showing personality. That shows
Same.
confidence in him.
Me too.
Also shows that you're not gonna be able to break him very easily. And then I've been watching his YouTube channel with him and his family. Man, it feels like he has a whole country of
Yeah,
support
bro.
of his
I
people.
love
Man.
that. I
He
do love
does.
that.
Wow.
Pop.
He does.
I do
It's
love
wild
that.
to
I mean,
see.
but I mean, no disrespect. That's how that Polynesian culture is, man.
Oh,
I mean,
I know, and dude, they have some of the
that is
best ball players ever, man.
that's how the Polynesian culture are. It's a family, man. It's a family affair, man.
Bro,
Them
they
mothers will come
also,
out and
they
show out
for real.
all of them.
They also have
So
They also have warrior genetics. Like, bro, they
also
they come from a
yeah.
line of people that used to fuck people up, bro. Like they are,
He ain't lying.
they
He
got
ain't
that
lying.
dog. They got that dog
Did,
hound. Let's just say that, man.
did you notice how much of a unicorn he is compared to everybody else that he was around? He's like the
Bro,
tallest out of
yeah, he
everybody.
is big.
It's
He's
crazy.
bigger than
Yeah, he's
bigger
hey,
than
And
he just as tall. Hey, he just as tall as them, but he's slender. He's slender compared to all.
yeah,
no,
and dude, he's like
he's towering over these guys.
he's also
They're
very
not.
subtle in the way that he runs routes. Like he doesn't have this big time exaggerated movements. Like
He's faster than what he looks.
yeah, but like he's
And people are trying to lie to us and be like, "Oh, he's slow." No, Buddy can move.
yeah, but also man, once he picks up speed,
Listen,
like
but this
even if you're on him, bro, he's gonna jump up in the air and pluck that bitch out the sky, bro.
He's a big body Chevy. That big
Yeah.
blood. You know, it's got to take a little time for
Hey,
it to get going.
look. Hey,
It's out of here.
listen, Papa. This is what I be trying to tell people, man. Go back and watch this fool's film. I watched dudes drape all over this dude, and he still plucked the ball out the air. Like, what are you doing? Why are you even here? Like, why are you on me? And I still got the ball.
But
I watched dudes like
one thing
holding. I mean, there was a dude that had his hands in between his arms.
But I like the fact that he looked like he's taking his craft serious. Like he was like 1v1 with the coach. I didn't see any clips of that was able to get last year. But I've seen that with him, T Mac, and I'm you could see how the coach was leaning on him, saying, "This you're gonna have to be able to get off this coverage if this man is pressing you like this. What are you gonna do in this situation?" And we got a little while before football, but Cody, I'm gonna ask you: is there a possibility we might be saying we got a Southwest by West connection? Because what if it's able to get comes together and starts putting it together?
Bro, I'm saying that's a dynamic duo. We got the Polynesian and the dude from the lower country of South Carolina, right? Like, bro, that's a dynamic duo right there.
I ain't never seen a Polynesian that suck, bro. I ain't never seen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, you don't see that. Also, man, I'm hoping that this year, you know, you were talking about how it's good that he's showing his personality and like coming out of his shell. I'm really hoping that he has that same sort of positive effect on Bryce Young. You know, like obviously we had been getting our ass kicked and Bryce didn't ever have much to say. But I feel like if he has a real dog on the team, someone that's like his boy, like I feel like you're going to see a better, more comfortable version of Bryce, both on and off the field. So I'm hoping that they can become like a dynamic duo, man. Like
I see that. I see that already.
Yeah, Bryce and T-Mac, you know what I'm saying?
I think
like,
he was kind of lost in the sauce without having nobody from Cali other than the coach.
Yeah, man. Like he needs somebody that's kind of like from his ilk, you know what I mean?
I want to say this though. I honestly, if we're going to talk about people who's going to take the next step of being leaders, I think JC about to become a huge leader in this defense.
Yes, say that. Bro.
I'm telling you right now, any dude who will get out here and call out the defense, the team shouldn't have to score 30 points to win a game. Any dude that will say that on live TV,
yeah,
and will apologize because they had to score 30 points, knowing that the dudes, he gonna go in the room and they're gonna be looking at him like he crazy. That dude is about to be a leader.
No, he really is.
Now, no homo or nothing, but did y'all see how big Trayshawn Wharton is built?
Bro, that's what I was saying earlier.
Hey, we was watching. So Poppy was in there with us watching the release day, and they was like, "Who's that?" I was like, "Oh, that's Trayshawn Wharton." That's like,
yeah, homie, big as hell, bro. Hey, Pop, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but I was like, to me, if the Panthers' pass rush is on point this year, it will be because of Trayshawn Wharton. Like that dude has the most violent hands, bro. Like straight up, him and Derek Brown could be just the type of defensive interior that Princely and Nick would be able to actually benefit off of.
I see Red in the chat talking about pause. I said no homo.
I believe that.
This man
I'm a firm believer,
man.
Bro. I'm a firm believer. It's not gay until y'all say pause, bro. Y'all make it gay when you say that shit.
No, hey, I ain't get with you on that one, Cody.
There was nothing homoerotic about that shit at all until Red Swarm brought his Falcon loving ass up in the chat room. Saying pause, bro.
Hey, Red Swarm the third cousin, man. Red Swarm, that's Blue Swarm, man. That
I know.
Hey, let's say Purple Swarm. Let's say Purple.
And you know what? He won't admit that Panthers have way better content creators than Falcons. And it's okay. We know that. He knows that. And we're going to welcome him anyway, bro. We're going to welcome him with open arms over to the free throw.
You can't tell me that he ain't got a Cam Newton jersey somewhere.
Bro, listen. I mean, he's from Atlanta. Cam's from Atlanta. You know, he was wishing Cam Newton was a Falcon at one point. He'll never admit that, but we all know that it's true. But yeah, we'll be nice.
He admit. Hey, I ain't even gonna do Red like that because Red did admit that Cam is his dude. He did say that's my dude. He did admit
Cam Newton's a man, bro.
I mean, because at the end of the day, you know, them Atlanta boys, they stay together, man. I ain't gonna hold you, man. I spent a lot of time in Atlanta, and them some dudes that stay together, man.
Yeah, man. I'm sad to say I was born in that state, dog. That's where your boy's from, so I know about
Don't say it out loud, Cody.
I know, man. I ain't hiding it. And you saw I got away from that shit though, right? Yeah, I learned my lesson, bro. No, I learned my lesson. But yeah, man, like I was telling Deez this before the show, that I really do feel like this could be an all-time Panthers rushing a football team, just because you brought back all the depth on O-line from last year. You have put so much resources in this offensive line. Chuba Hubbard, Rico Dowdle, who just did a cart talk, maybe we'll check that out. And Trevor Etienne, and what he might be able to do on this team, and Jonathan Brooks in the future, man. There is no foreseeable future where the Panthers should not be able to run the football down people's throats. Could this be an all-time rushing team for the Panthers?
Oh, it most certainly could. I mean, we absolutely took advantage of the Cowboys with them picking up Miles Sanders, who we just kind of discarded after what he did here. We saw that Chuba Hubbard was the one that was most productive in this offensive running scheme. We didn't have another back that was really able to be a good zone runner, and I think Uncle Rico is going to be that guy. I mean, I really do. We look at how we finished in the NFL last season in rushing. Chuba Hubbard finished 8th. With only 250 carries, and they shut him down kind of after that, saying that he was hurt or his ankle was injured. I think they were done working him that hard for a 5-win season or a 4-win season. I think they wanted to give him a little rest and didn't want to risk injuring him after what happened to Brooks is what I really think happened. I don't think he was that seriously injured. I think he got shut down because everybody else, number 7 and up in the NFL, had over 300 carries. But the Panthers weren't willing to do that for the amount of wins we had. We were definitely not going to the playoffs or winning the division at that point. So they just sat him with 250. But you bring in the guy that finished number 12 in the NFL in rushing yards, Rico Dowdle. And, you know, Cowboys fans just say that he's a spot starter. He's not a guy they're going to miss. But I beg to differ. Here's a guy it's a homecoming for Uncle Rico. He was born in Gaffney, North Carolina, of course, the home to the Great Big Peach. And then not only that, he went to high school in Asheville. So, I mean, he's a North Carolina guy through and through. He certainly knows about the Panthers. He knows about keep pounding. And his advice to UDFAs was to work really hard. And I think that's the kind of culture we want to build here. And that's the kind of culture that Chuba Hubbard's been building here. Those two guys pushing each other each and every day in that locker room, in that weight room, and then pushing each other on the field to see who's going to be the better running back. Yeah, there's an absolute chance that we could be a 1,000-yard rushing team. We just need the defense to do their job and hold these offenses back. So we'll be in the lead and we're killing the clock in the second half. If that is what happens, then absolutely we could have 2 1,000-yard rushers, or at least something that would be extremely significant in the history of the 30 seasons for the Carolina Panthers. Yeah,
man. You know, I when I look at Rico Dowdle, I see shades of Deonta Foreman, who, by the way, when he was in Carolina, when Steve Wilkes was the head coach, him, Chuba Hubbard and Deonta Foreman broke Panthers single-game rushing records with just those two dudes. And I'm really getting a lot of the same feeling from Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard in 2025. Listen, man, this next dude is like the Sandman. You say his name like 2 or 3 times, and he just shows up, bro. Back on the free-for-all. Red Swarm. Swarm, what's up, dude?
I knew him coming.
What's up, Cody Lack?
I knew him coming.
Thank you for having me on board this evening.
Red Swarm
man.
can't stay away,
y'all.
bro. Red Swarm can't stay away from the good discussion.
No, sir.
Man.
No, sir. No, sir.
Yeah, man.
No, sir.
Red Swarm, how you feeling, man?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. Excited for the coming season. It's gonna be I think it's gonna be a real competitive fight between the Falcons, the Bucks, and the Panthers for the NFC South title this year.
I agree with you on that one because ain't nobody worried about them stinking ass.
And by the way, how dare y'all dirty ass birds, bro? Y'all draft y'all draft 2 dudes from the Carolinas. Bro, what's your problem, bro? Why y'all so disrespectful?
Y'all
bro?
got a big peach. I just heard from Denzel Skills and from the Peach State. So, hey, man, turnabout is fair play. You know,
bro. Y'all disrespectful, bro.
No, he's not from Georgia. He's not from Georgia.
No.
Yeah, the Peaches in South Carolina. My bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's in South Carolina.
the Big
The
Peaches. Well,
statue.
it's a Carolina, so I know it takes two of y'all states to have a one football team, but that's okay, so
Oh, come on
yeah,
now. Don't
Ah,
do that.
damn.
Don't
yeah,
do that.
They
Don't do that.
they trying to get us back from Cam from beating their ass all these years, so they had to get two guys to try to make up for one Cam. That's all it is.
Well, popping.
He's supposed to make one team.
In fairness, he did say that if it was one team that he would play
He would go
for
to
now, yeah, to be the
Cowboys.
Atlanta Falcons.
Falcons.
No, he
So
said the Cowboys. He said the Cowboys.
well,
But
he
you know
said the
what the thing
Cowboys
is, though, man?
since then.
At
But the
least,
first time he said it was the Atlanta Falcons. So,
but
but
at
again,
least
that's Cam Newton. So you take what he says by the day, brother.
Swarm, but at least our quarterback isn't one letter away from his last name being penis.
Oh, stop that. Stop that, Cody.
That look that Cody good.
But that's y'all's, not ours. That's y'all quarterback.
Hey, did y'all see that video of Bryce singing that what's that girl name? Keisha
No.
Cole song?
Bro,
I was
don't
about to
say
say
no
with the
dumb
Keisha Cole,
shit.
that's so funny.
Bro, don't say no
Yeah.
dumb
Let's see.
shit, Swarm.
Let's see
Yeah,
it.
you gotta
Let's see
you
it.
gotta
Where is it
look
at?
that
I
one
ain't
up.
seen it.
You gotta look that one up. Yeah, you gotta look that one up, Cody. You'll enjoy that.
Hey, man, before we do
No.
any of that nonsense, let me welcome in my brother, C-Dog, 1983 in the
Oh,
building.
God.
C-Dog,
Another
what's
one
up,
of my
bro?
homeboys. We
Let's
keep
get
it
it.
100.
Hey, real quick, what's going on, man? But real
What
quick,
up,
I'm not
C
gonna.
dog?
C-Dog,
I
what's
hope
up, brother?
let's go with Cody, Panther Pickle, everybody in here, especially all
Yes,
my
sir.
Panther fans, especially all
Yes,
my
sir.
Panther fans. But Red Swarm,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
real quick, I just been listening. I'm real tired, man. I was just trying to sit here and just enjoy my Friday and
Yes.
my 3 day weekend.
Yeah.
I work 2 jobs, so I'm just trying to sit here and just be chill. But Red
Hardworking
Swarm coming in
man.
here, yeah, But Red Swarm, I'm tired of these damn Falcon fans coming around these Panther podcast shows and talking junk.
Yeah.
Real quick,
Oh, they're bad.
Bryce Young goddamn whooped your ass, Red Swarm.
Whooped your
Yeah.
ass.
The last
Yeah.
game of the season, he was
Yeah.
cooking.
Yeah.
Bryce
Yeah.
Young was throwing no look touchdown passes in the goddamn Mercedes-Benz Stadium. What are we talking about here? Like, we are not worried about the Falcons. We're not worried about nobody in the division, really. I just want to say that. Let's be clear. Could we have a
Yeah.
pass rush now? But I
Yeah.
just can't wait, man. I can't wait for Evero and Bryce Young to shut up all you motherfucking haters that got something to say
Yeah.
about my goddamn team. I'm tell you
Yeah.
right now,
That's
we
right.
we're definitely back. Look, it's not Superman, but we're back. You know what I'm saying? We are fucking back. You know what I'm
I
saying?
love it. I love
Big
it.
back.
Well, see, dog.
Big
I
back.
know I'm good with you. I know I'm cool with you. So I don't, it ain't my aim. When I talk my shit, I'm really having fun. But it is in the spirit of competition. You know what I'm saying? So, and even you now. Sometimes I listen to some Panthers fans who echo the same sentiment that you just made. Being tired of listening to Falcons fans, Buck fans, Saints fans, whoever it may be. Largely me, because I would tell you I have a bigger sense of rivalry with y'all, with the Panthers fans, than I do with the Saints fans. But most
That's because
people
you
give
spend
this
more time with us. That's because you spend
well,
more time with us.
and that's
We got
because
the best
that's why,
content creators.
and
Well,
that is
that's
why.
because
We
he
got the
knows we
best
know what we're talking
content
about.
creators.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that. But what I was gonna say is the people, and I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. See, Cody is open for the discussion and the debate. Pickle is,
Oh, yeah.
DZ skills, Nick Poppin. I could go on and on. Yeah, Jake. The Snake man. These guys, and you too, C Dog. We've had them in the past. But the fans that I think that I really get under their skin, there's a term for that when they hear the truth. Like, see, I can hear the truth.
I hate your ass.
No, no, Nick, check it out. Check it out. I can hear the truth that y'all won the last game that y'all played us. Now, I think there's some glossing it over when you say that Bryce whooped our ass. The game went into overtime. which means that at the end of
He did.
regulation, it was tied. So I don't know how much whooping there was in that. But if you ask me who won that game, Bryce Young won that game. I saw the game. I've watched it a number of times. I don't have any problem giving him credit. See, what I find is people get upset when I highlight certain things, and that makes them upset. That's called denialism. when it evokes that sort of anger and frustration to hear the truth. See, I can hear the truth and it not upset me, but it amazes me when I speak truth and people get upset. So don't let what I say upset you, bro. It's all in good fun, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't
And
mean no
look,
harm.
Storm, you know, one of the reasons I think you respect myself is because, hey, man, I'm gonna keep it real,
Yes.
regardless of fandom.
Yes.
Storm, when everybody was clowning Atlanta
Yep.
for drafting Michael Penix,
Yep.
who was it that told y'all made the right move?
You did.
I
You
sure
did.
didn't I?
You
And,
did.
and guess what? I'm gonna keep it
And
real with
Storm
y'all.
did too as well, didn't I?
I think that Bryce Young v. Michael Penix has the potential to be one of the best young
Yes, it
quarterback
does.
rivalries in the NFL.
In the entire
And that's just being
NFL.
real.
I agree with you. In the
Well,
entire NFL, I agree with you, Cody.
I like the fact Cody's being so nice. Red, I got a question.
I'm a nice man, Pop.
You are you. That's why you're my lawyer.
Appreciate it.
Red, why
Yeah, Pop.
why is your coach in the booty club?
Uh-oh.
With his players?
Uh-oh. I already knew what you was coming, bro. I knew.
Well,
Where's the professionalism, sir?
it's very professional. You
It's
know,
in
as you
Atlanta,
all
bro.
know.
Hold on, this is Atlanta, man. Hold on, man. Hold on, man. Stop it, man.
You gotta tell
Stop
us,
it,
man.
Hold on.
Yeah, I already knew it, Red. Hey,
Hold on,
Red gonna say that
man.
was
Hold on,
C
man.
Dog can keep it real too. That's just
Let me tell you
that's part
something,
of-
man.
That's part
let
of
me
the
just
flavor here in Atlanta.
I ain't
let me
heard
tell you
a
something.
nugget yet.
Hold on, Papa. Let me tell you something, Papa. Papa, no, let me explain something to you real quick,
Why
Papa.
no coach in the booty club,
In Atlanta, Papa, you get some of your best food in the strip club, Papa. Even now, when people, real quick, let me just finish.
I know all about Atlanta, bro. I got
When Time come down here, or some other good food reviewers, they go to the strip club because the strip club has some of the best fucking food. I'm telling you that right now.
Lemon
Period.
pepper dry wings, bro. Come on, dog.
Yes, sir.
They got some of the best food. Like, come on, man. Like, but if you don't know, you don't know,
that
man.
lame excuse. See, though, that was a lame excuse because we
Ain't
talking
no
about a
lame-
millionaire who can hold on because he's a millionaire who can hire that same chef at that strip club and host his players to come over and have dinner and some wings. Why is he? Hold on, we talking about the head.
Oh, you tripping, boy? Boy, you a hater. You a hater, boy. You a hater. What are we talking about? Boy, stop. Boy, stop.
Why is
tell you right now. I'll tell you right now.
Atlanta
If they go ahead,
the
finish.
strip club? Maybe that's why they tight end couldn't catch the balls because he was still
Man,
drunk.
stop. If real quick, let me say this. If they Canellas gonna take the goddamn football team to the strip club and show it, I don't give a fuck. That's fucking team bonding, nigga. I don't give a fuck about that shit. They go there goddamn men. The fuck, they team bonding.
Are you gonna let me talk about your tight end like that, bro? Come on, man.
No. It's good because my response to Poppin is this: if Dave Canales didn't have an addiction, he would be able to take his players to strip clubs and bond with them. It's a form of bonding.
Hey, bro,
It's a form of bonding.
My coach was out here.
He probably
fucking,
would if he wouldn't slip off of the bandwagon
He was laying the
and lose his
Hey, yo,
mind.
I don't know what you know. My head coach was laying pipe.
Pipe.
Okay, like it was,
Cody.
like it was
Cody. Cody.
That's the difference between your
Cody,
coach and my
my
coach.
point exactly. He was
He would've
laying
came
so
out
much
of there
pipe,
with
he
something.
formed an addiction to it. That's why he can't go in the strip club with his players.
I mean,
Because he
when you got
might
it like that,
fall
you
off
got
the
it like that, bro.
bandwagon.
Come on man.
He might fall off the wagon and get back into that addiction of sex and porn and all
But
that
he's not in
bullshit.
Atlanta now, is he, though, Swarm?
That's what I'm trying to
He's
tell
not
you.
in Atlanta. He's in Charlotte
for Poppins'
with all the
comment,
good Christians.
because he couldn't handle Atlanta, but for Poppins' comment, Raheem can handle the shit.
That was professional to you.
Yes, it was, Poppin. Yes,
Hey,
it
come
was.
on,
Yeah.
hey, Pop,
If you
I
must
ain't
know,
gonna let you do that. They play
We on the wrong
a
show, so I
violent.
can't call you what I
They
want to call
play
you.
a violent sport. They are not in no daggone offices or nothing like that. I ain't
Nick,
looking for them fools to be
Nick,
professional.
it ain't nothing but men up here on this show, and Poppin know how outrageous that comment he's raising right now is. It's called the Gentleman's Club. It's called the Gentleman's Club. It ain't called the Thugs Club.
But
Ain't
listen,
nothing
I'm just saying,
unprofessional.
you
Ain't
show
nothing
up,
unprofessional about
you
going
show,
to a strip club.
you show up for the show.
Yeah, I ain't really worried about no professionalism.
Red. I understand y'all
Red
understand
Swarm.
professionalism, but I don't want to hear
Yes, see,
nothing.
dog.
I don't want to hear nothing later on down the round when something comes out the blue.
Oh,
Some
you won't.
scheme or some scam.
See, hey.
Because
You won't say nothing, Red. You won't say nothing, but your fan base will.
Nah.
Let me just say this.
Hold on.
While Papa up here hating.
Hold on, C-Dog. I'm not
That's
hating.
all that is, C-Dog.
No, C-Dog, I promise you, you are in a different light. So there's certain things you can't do or be caught up in. That's just the bottom line. I don't care what you do. At the end
You
of
in
the
a
day,
different light.
number two.
What? He a football coach. What are you talking about? He no goddamn preacher. Is he a preacher? Is he a preacher? Oh, stop that shit, man. Oh, what are we talking about? What are we talking about here? We're talking about the fucking football coach.
There is a certain way you have to go about handling your business. I'm sorry.
Dude, there's preachers out here. Hold on. There's motherfucking preachers out here.
About them clubs in Atlanta, bro.
Fuck. You're talking about a goddamn football coach. No
Pay
preacher.
for the birthday cake, bro. Listen, that's going to be the only thing making that coach happy in 2025, bro. You know, because
Atlanta's the city of the scammers.
My man, like I told you, my man. They got the best. Everybody know when you come to Atlanta, the strip club got the best food, my G. Everybody know that shit, my
I don't know about that, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. I spent about 6-7 years in Georgia, and I've seen some spots that's way better than any strip club. Way better. Atlanta got some hidden gems, man. You got to go.
Double JR
all over the spot.
But Double JR said this conversation has turned retarded. And he might
Cody,
be
and
right.
that's what I was about to say, Cody. I don't really know that I want to continue this line of diatribe with Poppin. What I will tell Poppin is, I'm not going to forget this, and you will hear about this shit, what you just said tonight later on, and it ain't going to go the way that you think it's going to go. But I'm not going to continue to argue with you about going to a strip club. I'm not going to do it, man.
Yeah, but Swarm, I never did ask you though. What did you make of the Falcons trading back up into the first round for James Pierce? How do you feel about him as a player?
Generally speaking, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, Cody.
Yeah,
I'm somebody just as a fan of football, professional football, the NFL. I don't like trading future assets. NBA, baseball, any of them. I don't like trading future assets. Okay. I'm somebody who believes in developing your young talent, but all of the reasons that have been given, I accept them. And so I don't have any gripes with what they've done. I think that James Pierce was well worth it. The reports come out that he was going to be their pick at 15 anyway. And he was a little bit put off by the fact that they didn't take him at 15. But that, he settled with the fact that they came back around and still made him a first-round draft pick. But they couldn't pass up on Jalen Walker sitting there at 15.
Well, but that means both of y'all first-round picks got something similar because Jalen Walker was pissed off when we didn't pick him.
He was
at number 8.
He was.
And I think that he thought, like all Panthers fans thought, that it was a given that the Panthers were gonna draft him.
I agree.
We don't need it. I told y'all he's too small. Let the fucker get a sorry ass. He ain't no goddamn pass rusher. He's not.
Now I
And real
hope so.
quick,
Let me
and
tell
real
you, I
quick,
hope
Red
he's not
Swarm.
Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
He's the motherfucker. He's not. He's not. Real
You
quick,
know
Red
who?
Swarm.
But see, dog.
I
You know
hope.
who he is? The same
Hold
size
on.
as James Harrison. Same size.
He's not James Harrison though. James
Jalen
Harrison's a
Walker's not
fucking
a bad
dog.
player. Jalen
Okay.
Walker's not a bad player at all.
But he's
No, I
not.
like
I'm
him.
just saying he is a middle linebacker or an outside linebacker. He's not a pure pass rusher. But real
Okay,
quick,
I agree.
Red Swarm, while we got you in here and you're a Falcon
Yeah.
fan, do you hear about how Tennessee said that James Pierce was the head case and they got him the fuck up out of there? Did you hear about that?
I didn't hear it from the players. I did hear interview with the quarterback from Tennessee, and he was quite upset at those reports. He said that James Pierce is the best teammate he's had, middle school, high school, or college, and but that he does not like interviewing. He doesn't like to have cameras in his face. He doesn't like to interview. I sort of get that impression when I see him. I think he does try to shy away. Maybe he feels like, I don't want to just say this about a young man that I don't know. I don't like to use the intellect word with people, but I just, for whatever the reasons are, I think that he really does not like that sort of exposure where the camera's in his face.
But also another thing I heard about him, Swarm, is that he was not very happy with how Tennessee's defense decided to play him. Now, this is all just conjecture. I don't know what's true, but I've heard that there was a sort of a disconnect between what
him and
he
the coaching staff.
what he
I heard that
wanted
too.
to do and what Tennessee wanted to do. And so, I mean, look, it's the same thing as last year, Swarm. Everybody's clowning on y'all, but if you end up getting two superstar defensive players, then y'all gonna have the last laugh, and you're not gonna give a fuck about that first round.
Hey, I'm gonna say this right
That's
now.
why Poppin says that ain't the only thing that Raheem Morris would be happy about. So
I'm gonna say this right now.
But
I want to say this.
Yeah, JT.
He might not. I want to say this though to Red and for C-Dog. He might
up,
not
Tyree?
be this year. He's probably going to play defensive end, Jalen Walker. But I don't know if y'all paid attention to the press conferences from the start. Your boy already said that he's probably going to be that green dot at some point. He already said it.
Linebacker. Yeah, he ain't no
that.
pass
I mean,
rusher.
I don't care whether he play. I mean, I don't care whether he plays in the middle. If he's a good player, he's a good player.
So one thing I love, y'all, Nick, and this is illustrative of how I feel about Jalen Walker. They showed his combine interview with Terry Fontenot, our GM, and some of the coaches who were in there. So you know how at the combine they throw spitball questions at these guys, try to trip them up, just to see how they flow, how their minds function. So in the round of questioning they had for him, they threw out there. They said, "Well, if I were to ask you what's your position? What's your best position at defense? What do you play?" And he said, "Say what position do you play?" He said his response was, "I play defense."
Yep, that was his exact word.
Now, I will say, Red. I hope that James Pierce is going to be able to, even though it's all speculation, because we had a Pro Bowl player this year with JT Horn, with only one interception, and he was highly upset with Evero with not letting him man up. I'm hoping that James Pierce, if Raheem or whoever the defensive coordinator is calling the defense,
Jeff Albrecht,
if he's going to be able to cater to him. I mean, he hasn't earned his stripes yet. He just got there. And JC Horn has been with us for a hot little minute, so we know.
Who's this? Is this Papa talking?
Oh no,
yeah, he talking crazy, CJ.
No, I gotta address him. So as soon as they get done, I gotta address him.
Can I finish my thought?
Are you done?
Cut me off again. Okay, all right. So I'm just saying, I hope James Pierce could keep his composure, because how he might be played in y'all defense may not be necessarily right away the starter or the guy, or scheming for him. That's all I was gonna say about James Pierce. as a professional.
Panther Pickle in the chat says Tennessee's defensive coordinator dropped him in the coverage a lot, and he didn't like it. So, bro, he would have hated Ejiro Rivero's ass. Shit.
Exactly, and I think the Falcons went to a 4-3. So
Yeah, I mean, no, look, I think that we're gonna have the best rivalry in the division. I mean, we all have to knock off the Bucks. Until somebody does that, we're all fighting for second place. I do think that the division is going to be very competitive this year.
Me too, Cody.
Like really competitive, man. And look, man, look, being real, I don't ever want to see the Falcons be successful. But if the Falcons ended up being good at the same time that the Panthers ended up being good, and this could be a rivalry that meant something down the road, bro, that's even better, because then we're beating a really good Falcons football team and not just some middle of the road, can't get their shit right type of football team. So,
hey, real quick, hey, let me say something real quick. Apollo Bullets had brought up J.C. Horn and being playing man defense. Now, real quick, I don't know how many times I got to say this. If you don't have a pass rush, if I don't got a damn pass rush, I can't play no goddamn man defense. I can't goddamn press the goddamn corner. There is no fucking pass rush. Like, come on, man. J.C. Horn still play good, but no pass rush. But you can't be out here pressing, playing fucking man. You ain't got no fucking pass rush. A lot of y'all ain't never played no goddamn football, man. I can just tell about what the fuck I be saying. If you never played football, don't talk about football. God damn. You can't fucking play man and press if you ain't got no damn pass rush. Why you think everyone got them boys 10 yards on the goddamn receiver? If we ain't had no fucking pass rush.
Hey, C-Dog.
I like
Wait, hold on. Hey, C-Dog. I've never played football before, bro.
I know, cause I'm just saying. Like, come on, man. You can't pass if you don't got pass rush.
You didn't take that bait, C-Dog.
No. You just
I'm just fucking with you, bro. Hey, bro, I'm just fucking with you.
Let me rebuttal that real quick.
I
didn't go into details about the whole thing about J.C. Horn, but I mean, of course, you're a Panther fan, so you should know it's more context to that. If I had to break it down to you, C-Dog, he obviously wanted to follow the number one wide receiver, whether it's press or if it's in zone. They was not letting him. Hold on. They was not allowing him to do that. They had him all over the field. They actually was even blitzing him while the number. We seen it with CD Lamb.
You know what? You know that. No, go ahead. Let me know when you finish. Let me know when you got them finished. God damn. Now, real quick. I just told this motherfucker. Hold on, let me finish. Hold on, Cody. Now, real quick. I just told this man we didn't have a pass rush. The fact that we are blitzing our best goddamn quarter. What the fuck they tell you? We ain't got no goddamn pass rush, nigga.
Is that JC?
God damn.
Or a coaching problem?
I do think.
Man, talking about what?
But hold on, shit. I do.
Hold on, Cody. Real quick, Cody. Real quick. Then we had the worst defense last year. And you talking about what the fuck J.C. Horn did? We had the worst defense in fucking NFL history, but no pass rush. You talking about J.C. Horn following somebody? Now I gotta watch the goddamn tape. We ain't got no goddamn pass rush, nigga. I don't give a fuck if you got them over this motherfucker. I don't give a fuck if you're on Mike Evans the whole goddamn game. We ain't got no fucking pass rush, little boy.
No, we also didn't have Derek Brown all the last year.
Yeah, what are you talking about, man?
Hold on.
Yeah, he's already had safety.
We also didn't have DJ Warnham for most of the season last year because of some sickness bullshit. So
he had blood clot. No, he had blood clot.
But him being healthy at the start of the year is definitely going to help things. We also never talk about Patrick Jones, the outside linebacker that we brought in too. Like, we have built up a solid rotation, and Derek Brown coming back. I think we're going to have a much better pass rush this year, and the young guys, we're going to be able to rotate in and out and still be able to pressure the quarterback.
Well, Cody, I have a very serious question for y'all though. So think of it like this. If you go to a 5-star restaurant, right? Mm-hmm. And you know that they have 3 or 4 chefs in the kitchen from the esteemed Cordon Bleu culinary arts school. And they have the finest of ingredients to make your meal with, right? So you're gonna have a certain level of expectation. That's what I hear y'all say when y'all talk about the acquisitions that you made in the offseason on the defensive side of your ball. But Ejiro Evero was essentially a Waffle House cook. And you just named two players, two ingredients that he didn't have, Derek Brown and DJ Wanham for most of the season. But I would suspect that the right defensive coordinator, even with that missing two pieces or two ingredients, would have cooked up a pretty decent defense with J.C. Horn and some of the other talent that I hear y'all talk about. But why didn't y'all fire Evero? That's what I don't get. You still giving those same ingredients as Bill Belichick says, as not Bill Belichick, but Bill Parcells said. You giving those same ingredients, those better ingredients to the same cook. The meal might taste a little bit better, but as a Falcons fan, I don't think y'all are going to improve that much on defense.
So look, let me answer this, and then I'll let y'all pass the mic around. To me, regardless of however we feel about it, they felt like the amount of injuries and the type of personnel that Ejiro Evero had to deal with last year and the product that was put on the field is not indicative of what he's capable of doing as a defensive coordinator. I feel like there was a concerted effort to keep him in the building after the hiring of Dave Canales, so that way they weren't having to retool both the offense and the defense at the same time. And I feel like basically Dan Morgan is going to give him the benefit of the doubt for one more year, give him a better defensive roster to work with, which we did through free agency and the draft. And they're going to basically give him the benefit of the doubt. Whether or not he's deserving or not, that's up to the individual to determine for themselves. Me, I'm sort of indifferent. I can see the argument both for and against. But I feel like I understand why they decided to do it. So that's
real quick. Well, everybody talking in verse one. I'll risk real quick. Let me say something. Now, real quick now, because y'all talking about my goddamn coach. You know what I'm saying? Man, like Cody said earlier, Derek Brown didn't play, But man, let me tell you something, man. You just can't got that to put anybody out there and just think you got they're gonna be good on defense. Everybody's not gonna be a Josh Norman who you can got to get in the fifth round and come out here and ball. Everybody's not ballers, man. Let's just got to keep it real. Besides Derek Brown and J.C. Horn, can you name on his defense? Who was good? Then everybody be talking about playing man and all this. We had some sorry ass goddamn safeties. You know what I'm saying? Man, like everybody, when everybody not on the same goddamn page and your coverage, that's another thing. So sometimes when players were blowing coverages, that wasn't everyone's fault. You were calling the right play, but mother were blowing the damn coverage. But now we got Trevor Moorheim. And we got the rookie from goddamn Ohio State. We'll have smart motherfuckers in the goddamn backfield. So now we can't goddamn play man. I'll tell you, y'all motherfuckers ain't for no football, man. Everybody got to be on point on the goddamn defense. You gotta remember the 2015 team. We really didn't have a real mean pass rush, but we had Luke Kuechly, and goddamn Kurt Coleman was on motherfucking point. Everybody got them Josh Norman. Everybody knew they got them job. That's another goddamn thing. But now with Derek Brown coming in, now we got Derek Brown ain't never played with another goddamn true nose tackle the whole time Evero been here. So now Evero got all the pieces. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Evero gonna be fucking cooking this year. He had no excuses, even with me. But what I'm saying is, yes, sir. Let me say this. So he didn't have everything he needed. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. But now with the pieces we have now, he can move Derek Brown, all these players around his defense. It could be really fucking scary.
Yeah,
scary now.
I want to say this just to add to what C-Dog's saying, and to just bring some more conjecture to all of this and stuff like that. I understand where Red Swarm's saying that he feels like he was a Waffle House cook. I got that. I'm not saying that this dude is no Michelin star cook or nothing like that. I'm not saying any of that. But what has been proven is that he has put out a good defense before. He's put out a top 10 defense before. Not here in Carolina.
Yeah.
Not here in Carolina.
I love about that.
But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, Poppin', y'all looking for a dude who changes things up. Y'all looking for what y'all like that. This is not who Evero is. He's never been that. Evero has been that they're gonna have a really good pass rush. The front four. And yes, he does send other people, but usually if you ever notice when he does send other people, somebody from the front four will drop into coverage. He usually is a send four, get home type of guy. That's the type of guy he is. And what y'all have to do is realize that is who he is. And so if you don't have, just to say what C-Dog has been saying, if you ain't got no pass rush, you can't cover forever.
Yeah.
You can't. It's just not, it's impossible, man. Y'all gotta realize the NFL the NFL average for what's called last year was 2.5 seconds. For the Panthers, it was 4.5 seconds. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
That's something to look at, man.
That's a long time in the pocket.
Well,
I'm gonna tell y'all, if you play, real quick, Cody, if you play like real quick, man, I'm just saying this one more time. When I played football on my team, we had a hell of a pass rush. So we really wasn't worried about, like, man, we could press and do whatever you want to do, but you got a pass rush. When you got a pass rush, like the Eagles or some of these other teams, I mean, you can play your DBs, your safeties, and everything different. You know what I'm saying? You got a fucking pass rush, so everybody they know you're going to get to the quarterback. They know they got consistent pressure on the quarterback. You know, like, man, it's a difference when you got a pass rush, man. For the DB, the pass rush is everything. That same thing when they got the linebacker, Trevor Wallace. Trevor Wallace gonna fucking ball out this year because we got all them big boys in the front.
Yeah, I agree. I'm also really excited.
I promise you. Yeah, I promise
I'm really
you.
excited about Wallace this year.
Real quick, let me finish, Cody. Yeah. But real quick, Trevor Wallace will be sideline to sideline because he got them big boys up front now, where he can move around now. Same thing with the run defense. When you got them big boys up there, he can go sideline to sideline and got them smacking motherfucker.
And
you know,
did y'all remember?
We couldn't do that last year.
Bro, y'all remember when Luke Kuechly won Defensive Player of the Year? In his acceptance speech, the first people that he thanked were the dudes in the middle, Star and K1 Short. As a linebacker, you live and die off of your D-line getting that interior pressure, man. And let me say this. I also do think, to what Red Swarm was saying too, I feel like a lot of the players that we drafted this year are not dependent upon Ejiro Rivera's defense. So he only has 1 year on his contract anyway. So if he's incredible or if he's terrible, we're going to be moving on to a different defensive coordinator next year. So I think a lot of those dudes, like Nick Horton and Newman Millen, I think they could also transition to a 4-3 and still be able to play pretty well. Let me go to Diesel Scales. Diesel, what do you feel about Ejiro Rivera and this defense in 2025 in general, bro?
Well, I mean, I never understood why they went into the last year of his contract like they did, where they have to make a decision based on what he does this season. That's not normal NFL practice, to be honest. Normally, they would just move on and pay the guy for his last year and let him go where he wanted, especially after that performance. But I guess he did have some really bad luck. I mean, we didn't know that Derrick Brown was going to get injured so early in the season. Shaq Thompson as well. They could have been vital to what he was trying to do. But I think what really affected this Panthers defense last year was free agency. We didn't expect to lose Frankie Louvu, and we didn't expect to miss out on Patrick Queen both. But we swung and missed on both of those signings and free agency. And that's what really, I think, doomed the defense going into the season, because our backup plan was like Josie Jewell, and we saw how bad he looked in week 1. He got it together about towards the end of the season for sure, but he was really struggling early in the year. And along with that, like this season, we missed out on Milton Williams, but I think we had a better backup plan on what we were going to do in free agency. And I think we're just watching Dan Morgan kind of learn in real time how to play the free agency game. If you miss out on your first guy, you need to have a backup plan on what to bring in. Last year, we didn't have that. And I think Dan felt like he owed Evero for that. Like he knew, he was like, my bad. You know, I didn't really I thought we were going to get Queen, or I thought we were going to get
exactly.
Lulu, and we didn't get you. So I think that really affected the defense, of course, with Derek Brown out too. So we can give Avero a mulligan if you want to and let him go again with this defense, but there's no excuses this year. They've got to be able to stop the run. If they come out and then we're unable to stop the run and we can give up 200 yards rushing, which we did six times last season, then I think the writing's on the wall. We need to start looking within the ranks of this defensive staff and decide who's going to be the next defensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers. I don't think
he's already on the team, DJ Skills. They already got his replacement on the team.
Who do you like?
Who? What's his name?
You like Walsh?
The dude just came from the Rams, the linebacker coach.
Yeah, what is that guy's name?
Shit, that's the guy that replaced Lukabu, and I can't remember his name right now.
I forgot his name, but he's the guy. Trust me, he's the guy hanging on the wing.
You like that guy, Poppin?
He's pretty good. Pretty good coach.
Real quick, let me say something, man. The fact that Dan Morgan went heavy on defense in the free agency and we traded back up the same way we did in the mock drafts, and he doubled down on the edge. That right there showed you, man, he had to fix the defense. If you seen the year before, that's one thing I can't say about Dan Morgan. That's real quick. Ever since Dan Morgan been here, goddamn David Tepper been sitting back and shut the fuck up. And that's another thing. Everybody should be fucking happy. Now Dan Morgan running this shit. David Canella's running this shit. David Tepper ain't doing shit no more, but got to spend the money like it's fucking supposed to. He's a fucking owner. You sit back, shut the fuck up, and spend goddamn money until you win a fucking Super Bowl. Then let me finish. When he win the Super Bowl, he can goddamn talk. Until then, he can shut the fuck up, sit on the sideline, let Dave and Dan do shit. Then real quick, like last year with Dan Morgan, we got them with Jonathan Brooks, which I thought was a bad move, because he got them injured. But what did he do? He went and got Rico Dowdle, and he got them drafted and got them running back. So he already got them doing better than what he did last year in the draft, in my personal opinion. So I can't see nothing but Dan Morgan just getting better as a GM, as long as he's our GM. He can't do nothing but go up from here, in my personal opinion. Like this past draft, this past draft, we had a monster fucking draft, man. Then Jimmy Horn has been fucking balling and got them OTAs and shit. Like, man, we had a monster fucking draft, man. So we can't do nothing but go up from here. Like, he fixed the offensive line last year. This year, what do? He fixed the goddamn defense.
Hey, this is a good question for everybody on the panel. What do we make of Roseboom? The guy to be signed in free agency? Like, is he a meaningful contributor, or is he just another body?
He's continuing to start.
He's just another body.
No, I see him starting. I see him starting in 3-4 defense.
Yeah, let me go to Jake real quick. Jake, what is Roseboom to this roster, bro?
He's like a gap control linebacker kind of guy. He's a tackling guy. I mean, I wouldn't say he's the best at covers, but I mean, you're talking about controlling gaps guy, like controlling the inside with the defensive lineman and shit. Yeah, he's not a bad linebacker to have.
Okay.
Well, they're putting him and Bobby Brown the third together. I mean, those guys are both from the Rams. I mean, he produced, what was it, 135 tackles in 10 or 12 games or something. It was a ridiculous amount of tackles per game, and what happens in front of the linebacker really matters. So you're bringing in two guys that's worked together before. That's why I think he contends for the starting role. I don't know that he wins it over Josie Jewell. I don't know that he wins it over Trevin Wallace. I don't know where the Panthers are in that linebacker room, to be honest. I think it's the most exciting competition outside of wide receiver, to be honest, really who wins those middle linebacker jobs. But I think Roseboom and Bobby Brown's time together last season and what they were able to accomplish says a lot about what they could mean to the Panthers team this season. If you think of them both seriously, I would think that Bobby Brown's going to play a lot more than Shy Tuttle. So I would think that Roseboom is going to play a lot more than Josie Jewell. But I don't know. We'll have to see it play out how it goes.
I think
that Roseboom, he's a good tackler. Not saying that, but I mean, if you go back and look at the comments and the people that support his previous team, they were so happy that he left. Number one thing is he's terrible in coverage. He can tackle. He's a thumper. But if you look at an Evero scheme, you're going to have to be able to coverage as well. Now, I think the guy from South Carolina might move up. Bam, I think he might move up behind Josie Jewell and probably take his spot because, yeah, he's a nice linebacker. Like, he can coverage, he has a speed. This is just my opinion, sir. And then I also want to comment on the Evero thing. I agree with you, DJ Skills. But if you actually go look at it, I didn't really like the fact that we went and got Ever at the time, because when you got a young green coach, then you really kind of want to bring in a defensive coordinator who's had a lot of experience. That way it kind of evens out. Ever only had 1 year as a defensive coordinator with the Denver Broncos. And that was that 1 year he had a great defense. He didn't have 3 or 4.
He was more than the DC more than 1 year.
No, he was not. No, he was not. I've already looked it up. He was only a defensive coordinator 1 year. Now he had been there in Denver at Denver Broncos, but he wasn't calling the plays every single year that he was there. He was not. He was only there 1 year. Then they tried to make him an intern after the guy that brought him in got fired. And he said no, and that's when we picked him up. So really, he's gotten his experience the last 2 years with us. So that's 3 years of experience. So you only seen him
3 years with sorry ass goddamn players. God damn, man, stop that shit, man.
The point that I'm trying to make is I'm talking about experience, because the players that he had in Denver, he only had one good safety, I think a decent corner. Everybody else was just, you know what I'm saying, the run of the muck type of guys. They weren't Pro Bowlers, this, that, and other, but he still had a top 10 defense there. He could bring that same philosophy here, and it didn't work as far as whether we didn't get him the right free agencies, this, that, and other. I believe he only has 1 year. But my thing is, if you believe in him so much, and even though Dan Morgan said, okay, it was my fault, if they really believed in him, they would have re-signed him. I think he only has this 1 year or he's out the door.
Man, you just got don't like Everett, man. Just say you don't like the man. God damn.
Bro, this is just the truth. Look, I know you're a Pro Bowler and all, C-Dog. I know that. But at the end of the day, your resume has to say what it is.
Real quick, I got a question for you.
If you don't
Hold on,
turn
Cody.
it around,
I got a question for Papa when he get done.
If you don't turn it around, you're out of here. That's what the NFL stands for, not for long. It's not
Real
about
quick.
emotions or feelings and this, that, and other. I don't know Everett personally. I've never sat down and had dinner with him. I've never. We don't know shit about Everett as far as him being a defensive coordinator. So I'm not putting my emotions behind this guy. What I'm telling you is your resume says you have to come from the worst defense ever with all the acquisitions that they have made in the offense and bring it up to at least 20 something to 15, top 15 defense. Do you disagree?
Real quick, Poppin'. The fact that Dan went all in on defense, does that mean he knew that everyone had nothing to work with last year? The fact that he went on free agency and in the draft, he went and got all these defensive players. Well, that tells me that Everett didn't have no goddamn pieces to the goddamn chessboard.
I said that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all in agreement. I think we're all in agreement that he didn't have the roster to show what he's capable of. The people around the NFL still speak very highly about Jalen Rivera. And the fact of the matter is, if we have a good defense this year and he's able to make a bunch of rookie defensive players meaningful contributors to this football team, then yeah, he's going to get head coaching offers. All those stats last year be damned. Like if you have the potential to actually develop young, talented players, that's what people are looking for in a head coach. So this year, he's probably coaching like he has something to prove. Am I wrong?
And then with all these pickups we made, like we could come out here in a 4-3 defense and put straight deep tackles at the goddamn on the D line. You know, so say we play against the goddamn Eagles or somebody, the Eagles want to run a tush push. You can put Alshon Robinson, Bobby Brown, Derek Brown, Introvert Wharton up there, and put 3 goddamn linebackers up there. Like everyone can do a lot with the defense with the pieces we have now that we couldn't do in the past couple of years because we didn't have the pieces. Like, man, Shaw Toto is fucking trash. Shaw Toto ain't no goddamn nose tackle. You know, like he's 6'1", he's a fucking bum. Then you got big Bobby Brown, 6'4", 6'5", a real true nose tackle. Then Dan Morgan doubled down and went and got another true nose tackle in the goddamn draft, and Cam Jackson. He don't fix the defense because we didn't have shit. Now you got right now we can start DJ Wonnum and got that Pat Jones, and then now for the rookies we could take out DJ Wonnum and Patrick Jones. We can bring in the rookies on third down or whatever. Like, man, the defense will not be tired this year. Like we would have an effortless fucking pass rush. We have not had this in a long fucking time. And to me, being a Panther fan, first of all, we always got them defense. We run the ball and we got them stop the goddamn run. And now we are back to that. And y'all got keep talking about what fucking Everett got them to do what he did and what he didn't do. But he can do it now because we got fucking talent on goddamn defense. Come on, man.
Yes, sir. I like it, bro. I like it, man. Yeah, man.
I'm gonna say if this defense stay healthy, man, we should have a top 10 defense easily. And then we brought in got that Trevor Moorhead. He's real smart. That's another thing. You got to have smart players on defense. In 2015, Kurt Coleman was really underrated, but Kurt Coleman was fucking smart. We got a smart motherfucker back there at free safety. It changes everything. Same thing with J.C. Horn. So now, man, you can got them play, man, to lock up somebody if you want to. I ain't got to worry about Trevor blowing got them coverage. You know what I'm saying? I don't got to worry about the Mighty Richardson blowing his coverage. Or even the got the rookie we brought in from Ohio State. You ain't got to worry about him blowing their coverage. And all of them I got them real deal tacklers. Got that old buddy last year, Jordan Fuller. They ain't missing got them tackles. Come on, man. That ain't about that. Man, Everett ain't playing fucking defense. If players like that missing got them tackles, that's for the fucking player. That ain't no fucking Everett. Like, how about we went and got some goddamn safeties? We gonna fix everything on this goddamn defense. Now we got fucking dogs out here now. You know what I'm saying? Trevor got them gonna make tackles. That rookie we got, he gonna make goddamn tackles. DeMar Richardson had a game last year as a rookie, but he led the team in tackles as a rookie. That's what you need, man. So I'm not worried about the defense, man. Cause we got fucking dogs out there now. You need a motherfucker to come down there who ain't got them scared of putting their fucking helmet in there and got them tackle a motherfucker. And everybody who we got, they are fucking dogs. They got them gonna tackle a motherfucker. Even though the fucking rookie we got, Prince, he already told them they gonna pay him in a couple of years. And he got a serious goddamn bin. Like, I'm very excited about this defense, man. Very excited. I'm very fucking excited, man.
I am too,
y'all should be fucking happy. Y'all should be happy about this shit.
I am too, man. So listen, man, we are gonna have to cut it a little bit shorter tonight. But I do want to ask y'all this before we get out of here for the night. In our fantasy league, it's a dynasty fantasy league. I had the 9th overall pick. And I drafted Jackson Dart. Am I an idiot or not?
What was the door?
Nah, Jackson Dart. Was the first round pick. Nobody knows takers.
I don't know if I would have went with Jackson Dart. I'll be honest with you.
Bro, he's about to be the dude in that offense, man. They got pieces. They got weapons. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. But hey, man, look, we appreciate y'all as always, man. This has been another edition of the C3 Friday Free For All. I'm going to let my boys get their final bits of Panther fandom off for tonight on the show. And we're going to get up out of here and call it a show and start a wonderful weekend for everybody, man. Holiday weekend, too. Appreciate y'all. Everybody be safe. Have a happy, healthy weekend. C-Dog 1983, bro. Give me your final thoughts for the free-for-all, dog.
Real quick, my final thoughts, man. I hope everybody had a great, safe weekend this weekend and everything, but this Memorial Day weekend. Be safe. With that being said, man, I can't wait to Bryce Young and Eazy-E come out here and shit everybody the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? For everybody talking about Eazy-E can't play goddamn defense. But Eazy-E come out here with the defense, and the defense turn the fuck up. I got respect for everybody, especially popping bullets. Talking about Eazy-E this, Eazy-E that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just ready for the season to start, man. I'm very excited. Anybody who will be at the first game in Duval, I will be at the game in Duval. If anybody want to got to hang out or tailgate or anything before the game, I will be at the Duval game. And I'll know about some more games too. You know what I'm saying? But besides that, man, everybody have a great fucking week. We are back. The division is ours. You know what I'm saying? Everybody fucking keep pounding. And real quick, man, C3 Podcast is the longest running podcast on YouTube. Make sure you like or subscribe to the great content. They always consistent. They go live every Tuesday. They go live every goddamn Friday. We got the game simulation, the Madden simulation on Saturday. They got the game recap on Sunday.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, my brother. C-Dog 1983. Man, one of the biggest, most committed fans of the C3 Panthers podcast. We appreciate you, brother. Next up, my man, Jake the Snake. On another free-for-all, brother. We appreciate you as always, man. Give me your final thoughts for the free-for-all, dude, before we welcome in the weekend.
Another great Friday free-for-all. I know it got wild at times, but hey, it's entertaining.
Yes,
I hope
sir.
everybody has a great, safe Memorial Day weekend. I love all y'all. Keep pounding, and hey, I'm still looking forward to the season. I think it's gonna be a great one.
Yes, sir. It really is going to be a great one. I can honestly say that I'm more excited for this season than I have been in a long time. Our boy Dan Morgan has found some dogs, and in order to close out the show, I'm going to throw it up to my dog, These Ill Skills, the brand ambassador. Brother, give me your final thoughts for the free-for-all, and we're about to start this weekend, bro.
Yeah, happy Memorial Day weekend to everyone out there that listens to the C3 Panthers podcast. We appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure to drop a like and also subscribe to the show. Click on those notification bells so you'll know each and every time the C3 Panthers podcast goes live, whether it's Tuesday at 9 p.m. or Fridays at 7 p.m. here on the Friday Free-For-All, because here is where the fans matter. Now, C-Dog was talking earlier about Avero having a top 10 defense, and I really hope C-Dog is right on that take, and I hope this Avero defense can be top 10 in 2025 for the Carolina Panthers. Unfortunately, I don't feel the same way. I feel like we're more likely to, we'd be lucky if we were top 20 in the NFL with our defense, considering what is coming from last season. But the pass rush certainly is improved. There's a lot of dogs out there on the field, right? There's a lot of guys that we've brought into this defense, yes, to be dogs and hunt that quarterback. And it's hard to say what Nick Scorton is going to do or what Princely McMillan almost nailed it is going to do for this defense. I've been working on it, Cody, all week, and I still miss it. I'm trying. I'm going to get there. I'm
you have a long time.
But one thing we didn't spend a lot of time on, we did talk about Tetairoa McMillan and what he would be able to do for this Carolina Panthers team this season, but we touched a little bit on Jimmy Horn. But we need to get a little bit more into that Jimmy Horn conversation to close out the show, because look at what Coker did last season for this Carolina Panthers team. He almost outperformed our first-round draft pick in Excel. So
he did. Real quick. He did, because he didn't drop no damn balls, in my opinion. For not dropping balls, he outperformed Excel. This is my personal opinion.
No, he played fantastic. 3 catches to win that Atlanta game for us in overtime that I'm sure Red Swarm doesn't want to admit, but he did. Coker had those last 3 catches going down the stretch in overtime to win that game, and we had the cokeheads. But now we've got Jimmy Horn Jr., and what we've got now is a bunch of horn dogs. And these horn dogs are going to come in for this Carolina Panthers defense, and they're attacking these defenses of the NFC South. And it's about time that we had somebody with some speed on the defense, on the offense. And we've been waiting for a speedy wide receiver to lead this team for a long time. We finally found him. Darren Gant talked about how much he was impressed by his performance at rookie training camp. And to me, that means a lot. Darren Gant has been within this Panthers organization for a long time. He's watched a lot of rookie training camps, and he spoke highly of Jimmy Horn Jr. and all the fans of Jimmy Horn Jr., the Horn Dogs. So let's close out this show. Let's have a happy Memorial Day weekend. Dogs. And let's think about all these dogs we got for the Carolina Panthers, Cody. It's been a great time. I appreciate you having me on. And here at C3, like I said, it's where the fans matter, my friend.
Yes, sir. C3 Legion. We appreciate y'all. All the love that y'all showed throughout the entirety of the season. We will be back this Tuesday night for another edition of the C3 Panthers Podcast. My name is Cody Lashley. Everybody have a wonderful holiday weekend. We appreciate y'all. Be happy, be healthy, be safe. Hug all your loved ones while you still can. Love them up. C3 Legion. Until next time, keep pounding.